BF podcast may contain language or subject matter that may not be suitable for kids.
And we're the best friends that anybody could have.
You've been fucking warned.
I drink liquor.
Go to our website at b3fpodcast.com for merch. Click on Tell Us What You Really Think to leave a completely anonymous review of each of us.
Oh, yeah, just a sick fucker and I like it.
Enjoy the show, you cunts.
Well, that was an abrupt cut.
That was a very abrupt cut. Oh yeah, I'm rusty. I think
Yes,
it's funny
you
because
are.
the dumbass dudes guys just asked me to remember how to push the buttons, but
Yeah.
I obviously don't
I hit
remember.
record.
Yeah.
And
Jesus, how you been, dude?
you know, I've been pretty good, honestly.
I like the new intro.
Do you?
The intro video that was nice.
Yeah. So, oh Lord, let's see here. Trevor wanted me to share the live feed,
Oh yeah,
so to his group. So,
of course he did.
right. So anyway,
I just want to make sure. I hope there's audio out there.
yeah, I do too. I do too. We'll see. Give me a second. We'll find out. Oh, so you know, I've been good. I've been pretty good. I had some changes in my life at home lately, but that's really it.
Nice. Change the audio input there. I forgot to start the software before we went. So we had audio through the Rodecaster, but I have a mic delay software set up that syncs the audio with the video.
I got you. Well,
I'm trying to improve things. So yeah, you had some changes and shit.
yeah. So I got another kid. Well, first, booze, man. It's like we've forgotten
God
this.
damn it! I don't know, man. Jesus.
Booze.
So I wanted to get something extra special.
You did,
for
and
tonight.
you got something.
And
extra
because
special.
I was running crazy fucking late with traffic and stuff, because I drove here from Charlotte. We're actually in a hotel, so we can fuck after this is over.
That's true.
But I wanted to get this and surprise you, but I couldn't find it in Charlotte, and so I had to have you go pick it up. But I asked you very kindly not to research it.
Yeah, all I did was look at the name and look at the bottle. I didn't.
So
read
this is
anything about it.
Jepson's. I think it's Malort. is how you say
Jepson's
it?
Malort.
Malort liqueur.
Malort. Yeah.
So this is a Chicago-made
I did
liqueur.
notice that, but
and
that's all
it's
I know.
it's a point of pride with many Chicagoans
Oh, is it?
to drink this, and I don't know why.
Chicago.
Take a whiff of that. There's nothing about it that smells good. And it's
Jesus Christ.
it's-
You know what though? We've had worse.
I don't know. This is
Dude, I don't know. Freaking Uzo, man.
This is supposed to be. This isn't what I've read. It's known to be one of the worst tasting
Is it?
alcohols.
Because I
intentionally
walked
bad.
by the Uzo in the liquor store, and shuddered.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
well.
the Jepsons.
Yeah,
Malort.
Malort liqueur. It's not even a liquor; it's a liqueur.
I know.
Fuck
It
off.
smells be real bad. Cheers, my friend.
Yeah, that's not very good. It tastes like orange peel.
It's so bitter.
It's not the worst thing we've had though.
No, but it is so bitter.
It tastes like orange peel. Oh my god,
The bitterness keeps going.
it does not go away.
Oh,
Like
shit.
Chicago.
Right? God damn it.
All right, there's more ice on the floor.
All right. So we have confirmation this thing's actually going out and streaming the places it should be streaming.
Do we? Has somebody commented already?
No. It's there. Now you're moving the whole camera. What the fuck?
Yeah, because you were out of frame.
I want to be out of frame. I'm covering. I'm about to sit up straight and watch
So
this.
I've started carrying lately,
Mhm.
and having a gut makes it so much more discreet.
Yeah. That's why so many motherfuckers,
Can't pull their gun.
yeah, right.
When
Get
needed.
away with carrying. I feel
Yeah.
better though, because you've physically speaking, you look like you put on. a
I've
little more weight.
absolutely put on weight.
So-
I've a shitload of weight.
Yeah.
I'm this week. I've eased my way back into trying to be healthier
Right.
and eat healthier. But
Yeah, I went to the I had my checkup because every time you move to a new city with the VA, you have to basically do like a full new intake,
Sure.
like you've never been there before. And so they're like, okay, we have some appointments set up for you that you have to follow through after my initial one. And I got a call from one like, oh, this is the dietitian. And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, they said that you're overweight and you need to talk to a dietitian.
So,
like, fuck.
So,
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's just the bitterness. Like the actual flavor is kind of,
yeah.
meh.
And I thought that may be the case. And so that's why I brought Coke.
Yeah.
So, so I have another child, moved back in the house this week, actually.
Yep.
He was his last week in the apartment. So Matthew's back in.
Nice.
So now I've confined myself to the bar room completely.
Nice.
So it's now actually a sex basement.
Eli's sex basement. Sex basement.
Yeah. Well,
not a consent basement.
Right. Yeah. No. I oftentimes forget to get consent from myself.
Right. Oh man. So Eli's back home as well.
Yep.
He fractured his foot, and he was actually in boot camp for his 3rd week, which is usually the heavier PT time. And then he got put on their recovery.
That is so bad. Oh my God.
Put on the recovery side of things. So he's basically just in jail for like the last 5 months. And he finally separated, and he can get a waiver and go back in if he wants to, or he can do whatever. So it's not
so
like a
how does that
discharge.
affect if he doesn't go back in?
Nothing.
No GI Bill, no nothing.
No
he doesn't
GI
get
Bill or
anything. It's
anything.
just
Yeah,
like he never went.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. Okay.
So there was a medical separation, and it doesn't exclude him from going back if he wants to, but he has to get a waiver if he wants to go back through MEPS and all that shit.
Gotcha. He has to get a waiver.
A waiver. The waiver wire.
The waiver wire. Look at you with the sports term.
Hey.
So where did you find this? Hear about this? Taste this?
I Googled shittiest alcohol.
Oh, okay.
Because it's our first episode back after a very long time, and I wanted to make it special with something I knew we hadn't had before.
Google is good because it is bad.
Is it worse the more you drink?
Is it worse what?
Is it worse the more you drink?
It is. I think it is getting worse the more you drink, which I guess may end up making it the worst thing we've ever had. I'm so glad we don't have to do the suicide bottle anymore.
I don't understand where the bitterness comes from.
It tastes like, do you ever have Petros, the chili and chips place?
No.
Right? Okay. Well, they do an orange tea, and it's awful. My daughter loves it. My wife, I think, likes it, but it's awful because it tastes like an orange walked by a tea.
Gross.
And it really tastes like orange rind. It's so bad. But anyway. That you resent?
That was mine.
Yeah.
I just dropped my top.
Oh,
texted Amanda to make sure she's checking everything for us.
Oh, okay, good deal.
But yeah, so it's been like in a year and a half since we've done this.
It's just like feels about like it.
I do want to recognize your
correctness.
No. Your perseverance after my departure.
Oh, I got you.
Like cranking out. Sure. I didn't realize how many you had cranked out. I was looking back.
Well, a couple of them were just rebroadcasts of the something for the weekend stuff. Like, because it's so crazy because after you left, it's like, I got really busy between work and home and shit like that. It was just so busy and it was so much harder to do, which was why it was easier for me in August to just go, I'm going to put this down for a while because this is just too much. Like, doing the something for the weekend is every other week. It's not as much prep involved in this and all that. So,
which I got to come on that with you.
You did actually. You were invited to be a regular and you accepted.
Oh yeah. I thought that just meant to come back on regularly.
No,
fuck.
That's not what that offer was. That's why I said, "Are you sure?"
Well, okay. That's just a couple more people depending on me.
Well, I mean, it's just it's you don't have to do anything except show up and talk.
That's what I'm saying. At least everybody, the expectation of there's not much of me other than to show up and do the things.
Right. But yeah, so
Facebook is good.
Good. So,
but anyway, so I want to congratulate you on your perseverance, and the ones with the guests were decent. Your solo episodes were
but I went into it exactly how I said I was going to. It was like, I'm just talking till I just don't have anything else to talk about.
Yeah, you should have done that.
And then I'll just stop talking. I wanted to see what it would feel like.
Yeah,
I wanted to feel what that was like.
Was it wrong?
It was despair. Look, if anything, I can admit whenever I am not good at something, and I was not good at just talking alone. I should have put way more prep into that than I did. I did jot some things down throughout the week and would talk about it, but I underestimated just how fast I could talk about a subject.
Yeah.
Like it was just insane.
See, I would argue I'm always surprised at how long you can talk about a subject.
Yeah. If I have someone else to bounce back and forth.
I know
some
of that's intentional towards me because you know how fucking much I hate long stories.
For sure. But anyway, so you were on Trevor's podcast.
I was.
And you said, and this was a month ago at least, that we were going to do this before it was actually official.
Yep.
But you said on there, God damn it, Joey was right. We'd be back to it at some point.
Yeah. I'm just going to sit like
But just admit it. Just admit, though, you didn't miss the work that went into it as far as audio and shit like that. You missed the actual part of doing it, the conversation, the fun of it, the fun aspects of it.
I missed the fun aspects. I didn't miss the frequency of it. I was burned the fuck out, and there was no way I could keep doing that. And that's why I needed the break for a while. Plus, I wasn't sure with the new job how much they dug into the personal life. And I didn't want, I mean, not that everything we recorded wasn't already out there, but I didn't want me as a new employee be doing some shit and then be like,
yeah,
this isn't going to work for us.
I get that. How is the new job now that you've been in it for several months?
Still stressful as shit, but it's good.
What's so stressful about it?
The amount of knowledge I'm having to ingest regularly.
Okay.
And there's such a diverse amount of things I have to take care of. There's no one way to get a mastery of something and then move on to something else. So it's just grabbing little bits and pieces as I can. And now I'm at the point like, all right, you're on your own, have fun. And, you know, we're here and I have a great team. They're great for backup. If I have questions, like people are there, there's no issues. It's just, it's a lot. And I'm constantly like, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to fuck this up. I'm going to get fired. So, because I'm actually having to put some prep into things, and and I also really hate paperwork. I've always been very bad. I mean, I can do the work, but I'm really bad at it. I second guess it and I rewrite shit. And so a report that should take me an hour, 2 hours to write, will take me like 6 fucking hours to get through it because I stop, I get distracted, or I'm just like, fuck, I hate that. I'll get the whole thing written. I'll be like, oh yeah, this one guy's going to ask X, Y, and Z about this. Fuck, I've got to redo that. So I'll redo it. So it just takes me fucking forever. And I hate that side. But
I wonder if that's any better mixed.
Maybe. Oh, but I guess that's one of the pride of the Chicagoans is drinking it straight. I'm just going to have the one. I got whiskey over there.
Yeah.
Unless you want to drink this the whole, I say the first half we'll have this, and then the second half will go back in. So I'm not gonna rush you. I will not top you up with this.
Oh, that's so bad. It's just on the back of you. Just stays right there on the back of the mouth.
It smells
so bad. It's like we never stopped. So, So my job, I took a promotion and been traveling more. Not as much as you, but traveling more. And working from home more now in December.
Ironically enough, you've traveled more than me the last month or two.
Yeah, I have.
I've done a lot of regional shit. I've driven a lot, but I haven't flown.
Oh yeah, you drive now. So I'm going to Jacksonville in a week or so. Krista's actually going to take the trip with me.
Nice.
At that time, it's nice because it's the one nice thing about having your kids back in the house is you can just go, hey, we're gone for the week, so deal with the dogs. Like you don't have to get a sitter or anything like that. So because Matthew was like, can I have a party? And I was like, no. He's like, can I have some people over? And I was like, I can't really stop you from doing that, I guess. While if I'm not here, I can't stop you from it. I can just kick you out when I get back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
that's what I've told Eli since he's been back in. I was like, we're happy to have you home. I'm not like pissed at you. Like to me, it was because he got the decision. Like he stuck through that shit for 6 months. And what they would do is he'd start getting better and they'd put him on the treadmill and the shit would refracture. And so that's how the military works. And I got that. And I was like, he pushed through it for a while. So I was like, I'm fine with you being home. And I said, you need to take like a month to let your foot fully fucking heal. But after that, you got to be making forward progress, like at least attempting to move on. It's not going to be like you're 16 moving home. Like that shit's not going to fly.
So what does he think? Is he thinking college? What is he thinking? Is he thinking?
He's got he's thinking he's going to try. There's a few online programs for like with Code Academy, which are actually pretty sweet. He wants to dip into coding and see how he likes that before he decides to pursue anything in that.
Has he decided for sure one way or the other about going back?
No. There's a lot of variable, but he's been home a week and a half. And so,
I get it. I'm sure Amanda's over the moon having him back.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Which is fine. Was she doing that home? My baby is hurt.
No.
And they're hurting him more.
She wasn't because she didn't want to discourage him from going. She wasn't happy about him being in the military as it is. So she was super happy for him to, not for the education and whatever, but Amanda's a big pacifist with a lot of things and is just not very pro. She's not anti-soldier. She's just not pro like war machine military thing. So that's fine. But but he's he's still smart as fuck. So he really can do
for sure
whatever he wants to do. But
That's good.
I told-
send
but
him
I-
now he's legal and
Yeah.
back in touch. Send him to Knoxville.
Right.
Send him out with
Oh Jesus.
Livia and some of her friends.
Right.
She's settled into a very seemingly healthy relationship with somebody that we like.
Oh wow.
They've been friends for a while, and they find there's a lot of will they, won't they for a while.
So much drama.
No, it's just a lot of
I'm kidding.
okay.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's just a lot of them liking each other at different times. But
Yeah.
it seems to be working pretty well. We like him. He stays at the house quite a bit. We came home the other day, and I thought that they were both in the shower together. Obviously, I thought it was together. And I came upstairs, and Olivia was upstairs, and so was Kenneth is his name.
Mm.
And I told my wife, like, I thought that they were in the shower together. And she was like, what was that going to do to you? And I was like, nothing. I'm an idiot if I think that nothing's going on. He spends the night here all the time, like a lot. And hey, I know it's bad. And so I'm an idiot if I think nothing's going on. I said, I would just say to them, hey, be a little more respectful and like try to pay attention to whether or not we may be coming back home at any time. Like,
Right.
So I don't need to hear my daughter being railed in the shower.
Right. I was gonna say at least wash our sheets after you're done.
I had sex on my parents' bed when I was a teenager.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure
Yeah.
you did.
So there was something else I was fixing to ask you about. So Matthew had a breakup, right?
Yeah.
He's been dating this girl for 3 years. And if you're 22 years old, that's a long fucking time.
Yeah, it is.
Who is that? Oh, you just put that out there.
Yeah, put it out
Somebody else did that.
Yeah. Nobody loves us.
Yeah. So he had a breakup,
Mhm.
and
Was it a gnarly, heartbreaking?
I think at first it was, but I think he took it pretty healthily. And like I said to him, and to your credit, honestly,
Mhm.
I said this to him. He was sitting in the living room one night, and I was like, "So how's it going?" Like he was like, "It sucks," because he didn't want to break up. She
Right.
like broke it off with him.
Yeah.
And he said she just needed a break. Is what she said. I just need a break. Need some time. And I said, well, do you want any advice? And I said, because if you don't, I'll be quiet and you
Yeah.
can say whatever you want. But if you ask me for advice, I'm going to give you
Right.
the advice. And he said, yeah. And Chris had already talked to him a little bit. And I had to ask her ahead of time. I was like, if he asked me for advice, you're like, is anything you don't want me to say? Because if you speak now,
Yeah. Oh, because he's also the baby. He's her baby.
yeah,
Yeah.
to an extent for sure. And she won't admit he's her favorite, but everybody thinks
Oh,
he is.
I know.
See, but so I said, you want any advice?
He likes her more than Gabe, which is sad because Gabe is way cooler.
So he said, yeah. And I said, well, I said, fine. I'm going to say something to you that I wish someone had said to me when I was a teenager, and that I wish someone had said to me when I was a young adult. I said, because when I was a teenager and I got into a relationship, like I got into him hardcore, and like it was a heartbreaking thing when relationships ended
Mhm.
as a teenager. And I said, so here's the thing. It sucks and it's gonna suck,
Mhm.
but every day it's going to get a little bit better. And it's fine to be upset about it, but it's not fine to let it rule your life and keep you from going to work and doing your job and
Right.
the things you have a dog, you have to take care of this dog, things like that. I said, but it's going to suck, and
Yeah.
it's going to suck bad for a little while.
Yeah.
And I said, but it's going to get better. And he was kind of like, you could hear he was upset,
Yeah.
And I said, Steven said that to me when your mom and I separated. And I said, and it's advice that I honestly wish somebody had given me when I was young. I said, because it's the truth.
Yeah.
And so
I don't
was like,
remember saying that. Also,
you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
God
You
damn
said
it.
other things, but you did
I'm
say
wise.
that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 3 marriages in, you should be.
I'm pretty sure fucking Get on Tinder
Yeah.
was in there somewhere too.
I don't think that's what you said.
I don't know.
No, he's on Tinder. he's
Good
just
for
sitting
him.
in the living room of the night going, nope, yep, nope.
See, at his age, it's a numbers game. You might as well just
It
be
is,
yepping
yeah.
everything and
So
take what you get.
And I asked Chris about it. She's like, no, I thought that was good. I thought he needed to hear that. And then a few days later, something like that, he had cracked his phone screen. So I ordered a replacement, was fixing it for him.
Right.
And it came back on. I noticed his lock screen on his phone was still a picture of him and her together. And I was all right, your phone's working. Here you go. And he goes, oh, awesome. And he was like messing with it. I was like, yep, works fine. I was like, good. I said, you want so it's fucking Anders. I love Anders, but he's like, how's it going? We're in the middle of it.
He just said,
asshole.
"Hope I'm interrupting." Yeah, he
Yeah.
followed up. Yeah,
So I said, "You want some more advice?" And he goes, "Sure." And I said, "Take that fucking picture of the two of you off of your lock screen because you're not making this any easier or any better on you. So just get rid of that shit."
Yeah.
And Chris was like, "Do I need to leave the room? Is this a father-son thing?" He's like, "No, it's just a straight up honest thing. Like you're struggling with this breakup. It sucks. I get it. You've been together 3 years. It's a breakup, like for sure. It's not like you're 15 and you dated somebody for a month. You know, you've lived together.
Yeah, turn up some Taylor Swift, start deleting photos.
That's right. Just fucking get that off of your screen."
Well,
And
something I
so-
wish that a lot of kids thought of more of, like, if somebody doesn't want to be with you, don't beg them to stay.
Mhm.
Like if they're like, I want this.
Well, I also told him, I said, she said she needs a break, right? He said, yeah. And I said, look, I understand. I'm fixing to paint with a broad stroke, but it's pretty fucking accurate. When a woman says she needs a break, I'm not saying she's cheating, but someone else has shown interest and she's intrigued at a minimum. She's intrigued.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's code too. For like, I want to break. And in other words, it's an easier way to say it's easier to process for someone to be like, oh, let's just take some time apart as opposed to like, yeah, I'm fucking done with this shit. Because usually, like you said, painting with broad strokes,
for sure.
Throwing out the I want to break, that's leaving the door open in case you want to come back.
That is the case. And so
and you got to slam that fucking door, man. You want to break? It's like, all right.
Yeah. So about a week or so later, he came back to the house for something, and he said, "Yeah, we talked the other day," and she said, she just wanted to come and get the rest of her stuff out of their apartment sometime when he's not there, and just maybe they just never speak again.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh yeah." And he was like, "Yeah." And he said, "And I'm fine with it." He said, "Pretty sure she's seeing somebody else now, or whatever." He said, "I'm good with it."
That's what it is. She had to wait to see if she needed to close the door, and then she got the information she needed, and so she closed the fucking door.
Yeah. And he said, and so he asked us the other day, what did we think about her? And I was like, well, I didn't always feel this way, but this is what I felt about her. And I'd laid it all out there. And he was like, why didn't y'all say any of this while I was dating her? Said, you didn't ask us.
Yeah.
He said, I felt like I did. And I said, no. Maybe you asked everyone else. I said, you didn't ask me because I would have told you.
Yep.
And so I said, so from now on, if you're dating someone and you want to know, you have to come out and ask. Yeah. I'm not going to try to ruin your relationship.
No.
But I will tell you if you ask me.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
To me, if you're having to get other people's approval on what they think of the person you're with anyway, then that's a little bit of a flag in and of itself.
I don't know that it's necessarily approval, but I do think my kids know it's going to take a special person to fit in and get along with us in our family.
It's still approval.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, for sure. I get it.
Whether it's something that they would base the relationship off or continue forward, a different thing,
right.
But it's a type of approval. And I'm not talking about your kids. I'm not anyone in general.
Sure, I know. But now Gabe 100%, if Olivia does not like who he's dating, bye. Yeah. Like he 100% is like that.
That's so funny to me.
It's strange, but it's like, I just know how hard the relationship's going to be and how hard it's going to be when we all get together if these two people don't like each other. So I should just not even deal with it.
Yeah, but I forget you guys' internal family operations are much, much different than a lot for not other people, just for me and how I, whatever. Cause like my whole thing is like, it doesn't matter if I like the person or not. Like I can tell you they're a piece of shit, but it's not for me to decide that. It's for you to decide that. You know, for my kid, like I'm protective. If I'm seeing them like catch whoever they're with doing some shit behind their back that's going to hurt them, different story. But if they just want my opinion, I'm like, fucking doesn't matter.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Is it going to keep you from not fucking them?
Yeah.
Not at front, not at first anyway.
Oh no, especially if it's a guy.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I don't know. Never stopped me from fucking guys. That's all I'm saying. I walk with a limp to this day. First off, I gotta say, like, other than the glare, I realized the TV shit's on. I dig I dig this.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Aside from the glare, I do. I like this.
Yeah.
We should just have a background like this.
Right. We'll just green screen it from now on.
Yeah.
But no, going forward though, like we talked about, like kind of the state of the union.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We're going to be doing this on a monthly basis.
Yep.
From here on out, and we're going to be doing it remote though, so it'll be like both of us on the.
Yeah, and every once in a while, one of us may be close enough to drop in, but for the most part, we're just expect that we'll be remote.
Yeah, yeah. This was the first one back, so we wanted it to be special. So I
rented.
rented a room. I got some alcohol.
Yeah, and you know, I almost didn't show.
I know.
Not didn't show, but I almost showed up late just to make you sweat a little.
I wouldn't have sweat that much. I would just be like, fucking dumbass dude assholes. They were like, that was my big thing after they tweeted that shit earlier. Like,
What did they tweet? What are you talking about?
if we still knew how to be funny,
Oh,
if
I
we
got
would
you.
be on time, if we could remember how to push the buttons, which I failed on 2 of those things. But my reply was, well, I'll answer your questions with a question. Is Benny still Catholic?
Yeah.
And so but my whole, in my brain, though, I was like, fuck, I can't start late. We can't start late just because of those dicks.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I know. Yeah. But I almost just continued texting, just stood outside the door, just stood there till about 6:04.
I was more stressed about having a shit like 5 minutes before the show. Just like, oh, God damn it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, my brother-in-law,
Mhm.
Chris, who you know Chris,
Yeah,
like
I know Chris.
we were there, I don't know, sometime in November. We were at their house in Nolensville.
What's up? I can't
What's up,
make this
fellas?
up.
What's up, T? And
always forget
I'm
that's
assuming
T.
that's Evan.
Yeah,
but,
none of
you know.
nobody else on
I
that
know.
squad
So
does shit on the internet.
and I know you
other
didn't
than
listen to
show
it, but the last episode that they did, which who knows, could be their last episode as well. I don't know. But the squab was back on there
Oh,
with them.
shit.
He talked some shit
Oh yeah.
about me, but he really said like the two of us together was like he almost I want to say it was some similar to appointment viewing for him or appointment listening for him, like which was interesting.
What?
And then he was like when he said that he used to listen to you and I
Uh-huh.
when he wasn't on their show anymore
Okay.
because he needed his anonymity.
Ah.
And so, but yeah, but he did say about me, basically saying he should. He was like,
But you
God
talk-
bless him for giving it a go.
Yeah, but you also talked a lot of shit about the squab, even though.
Oh yeah, I know. Because I was like, "What? You gonna call yourself the squab and then not show
But,
up?"
but
anymore?
I've realized something, and that's that Evan is the Joey of the dumbass dudes, and all of the rest of them are me. They just show the fuck up,
I think that's probably the case. I think the rest of them do a little more.
but less entertaining, obviously,
yeah,
and hilarious than I am.
Well, he pushes the show along. So,
Because
but anyway,
it's because he's so articulate. He just carries
that's
that
it.
fucking
That's-
show.
I didn't think about that. He really is.
God,
so-
this is so bad. I'm
I
just
know,
trying to get
it's
through it.
very bad. So, Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
We were there at their house and Jessica asked, she said, "Do you miss doing the podcast?" And I said, "Actually, yeah, I do." It's like, I don't miss what is involved when we're not sitting there talking. I don't miss any of that.
It's a big gulp is not better.
I said, but I do miss doing the show, the talking, having fun. Like I miss
Because
that.
I was the only
interaction.
person you have to hang out
That's
with.
probably true. That is probably true. And I said, but I do miss that. And Krista said, I don't miss it. So Krista said, and Chris goes, I do. Like Chris is like, I went back through your back catalog and listened to everying. He's like,
God
I
damn.
fucking wish that you guys were still doing that.
Those are hours.
Like, are you
and
kidding
hours.
me? Hours and hours. I mean, 156 if you count everything that was released, but whatever, 100 or
Yeah.
130
Yeah, I
something.
don't count your episodes.
Yeah, well, I barely count them. So
I did like that you took the second half of the heart out just for the
I
solo on
did
that. That was great.
just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Chris missed it, and then it seemed when you hyped it up this week, a couple of people kind of said something about it. So we'll see.
And other people talk some shit about it too, which is great.
Other people, yeah, that's
I
fine.
love it.
Yeah, whatever.
I was
Hunter, of course.
Oh yeah.
Fucking
I
Hunter.
was hoping, yeah, fucking Hunter. Yeah, I just, I was raising words. That's why I kept tagging other podcasts just to be dicks, because that way
Yeah.
anytime somebody commented, they'd get notifications too.
Mhm.
So if you were commented, if you're listening and you were tagged in any of my posts, you're fucking welcome.
Yeah, really.
Even though I fucked up the countdown from the first day because I was thinking Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. You were. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh God. Well,
Yeah.
you ready to take a break? No, I'm just
I was
kidding.
like, what?
I'm just kidding.
I feel like that you prepped as much as I did this week.
What do you mean?
for this episode?
No, I've just decided going into this, I'm going to prep about as much as you used to prep for
Yeah,
things,
that's
and so I've got, I've had some things on my mind throughout the week, but it goes.
Right.
I did tell, as we were walking out the door, I told Krista, I was like, what is it? Like, I was telling her about, I was like, what is it? She was like, I just need you to make sure that when you get back home, you take a minute and kind of shed that skin before you come back into the house. I said, I feel like you've decided ahead of time that I'm going to be a specific way and you're not giving me a chance. She said, nope, I haven't. She said, I'm trying not to do that. I haven't. but I need you. Cause she said to me, she's like, I'm not excited about this. She said, you are so much more approachable not doing that show.
So in other words, I bring out the worst in you.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the two of us. A lot of people feel, mostly related to me,
Yeah.
feel that you and I are just trying to just top each other.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I
whatever.
don't know. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Because I don't know that. I mean, I know your immediate family for the most part, but that's
Mhm.
like, not a lot of people. I know that your brother is now like he thinks I curse way too fucking much. But outside
Right.
of that, like I thought maybe he hates me in secret. I don't know, but I think
I don't think so, but I finally sent him something. I sent it to you as well. I think it was a football player. No, I don't remember what it was, but I sent it to you and you found it funny like I did. I sent it to him just like, that's wrong. Like that. I was like, there, I finally found it.
Yep.
I finally
There you
found
go.
it.
Well, a lot of people too, though, they get offended might be the wrong word.
Sure.
But as they get older and certain opinions and stuff become more firm, I feel like there are certain things that hit people differently as they maybe mature. I don't know,
Sure.
or grow up or whatever. Like their humor gets less dark, or they take. And I think maybe that some of it is like a lot of people as they get closer to death, essentially, like as being more grown and aging, kind of
Trying to
starts
get into heaven.
right. Well, I don't even talk about like being that old, but like you can start getting middle aged and a little older, like a little like pain and a lot of that shit. You start knowing more people that fucking die, and not
Yeah.
like a freak fucking the guy was running 100 on a motorcycle. It's like, oh shit, this dude just had an aneurysm,
Yeah.
and he's fucking 2 years older than me.
Sure.
So you hear a lot more of that shit. So I think it starts. Most people started inherently taking.
Oh, my other brother-in-law,
Yeah.
who's like 45,
Mhm.
46 or so.
Yeah.
Had to have quadruple bypass surgery.
Yeah.
Like last month.
Is he a
It's
fat
like-
ass?
I mean, he's not a skinny ass, but she's been smoking for,
yeah.
25, 35 years or something like that.
Right.
And, doesn't eat healthy or whatever. But yeah, he just was feeling rough and went and he basically had a heart attack
Yeah.
and worked through it. And,
Nice.
and then they were
Fucking
like,
man. It's a man right there.
yeah, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
that man has been set on fire.
Yeah.
And put himself out and had whatever done to him. And he's a well driller as well. So, I mean, that's a very manly thing. What? Go ahead.
That would also, if I was a gay porn star that was like embarrassed by my occupation with my family, I would tell them I'm a well driller.
I thought you were gonna say it was your porn name.
No, that's just what I would tell people. Like, what do you do? I'm a well driller. Like, oh, what does that mean? It's
That's
like I take a shaft and I just bore fucking
Right.
down deep into holes. Get fucking dirty and
Oh
shits
my
on me when I get
God.
out. It's fucking crazy.
Oh Jesus! All right. So I wanted your take on what you think about
Hot take.
Elon buying Twitter, because that's
Yeah.
happened since then, and everybody that loved Elon 2 years ago can't stand him now.
Yeah.
And so I'm interested in your take on this, because you always have interesting takes on
Right.
things. What your thoughts are on it?
My thoughts are like, fucking who cares? It's a private platform. He bought it with the project. However he got the money, whatever he fucking did, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that like I like the amount that he plays God with things, because he really doesn't fucking care.
No, I don't think so.
And maybe he does to a point, but people are like, oh, he's reckless and now he's conservative. Now he's this. I think he just like
I think he does what he wants.
Well,
honestly.
I'm pretty sure, and I don't know if there's an official diagnosis, but just knowing the game, he's probably bipolar or has some other,
I
shit
think
going
he
on.
has what used to be known as Asperger's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. But regardless of that, I mean, he's got some shit, but he plays God and he likes to do that stuff. And I think I like watching the shit burn. And so since that's happened, the funny thing is they have all these people that are pissed saying they're going to get off of Twitter, complaining on Twitter about Elon Musk buying Twitter.
Right.
Yeah.
They
Twitter's
have to
cult.
tweet to everyone that they're leaving Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, just fucking leave Twitter. Like,
Yeah, but
That's-
to me, as far as how I use it, it doesn't affect my usage. There's still fucking, I don't know, people that are acting like that are these people that were banned or getting unbanned or whatever are just now getting a voice. Like, you know how much other shit was on Twitter that just aren't like popular people that are way fucking
Yeah.
worse. Like you type in a wrong word, you're coming up with fucking like double anal penetration shit.
oh
without
yeah,
fucking
Twitter is
blinking
the
your eye.
fucking Wild West. I mean, it's almost as bad as Reddit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bite the bullet
But if you
and try this out.
if you just if you just dig even accidentally, like I've accidentally like
It's a more used 4chan is really what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And people don't even fucking think about that. But it's come to the point, and I heard
It's not better. It's just more of it.
Well, I heard somebody say the other day, and
It's like I've ruined Coke.
this is why I got this.
Oh my God. So you never tasted it until tonight either.
No,
Oh,
but I
God.
knew with everything I read that it was going to be bad. But anytime, like anybody tries to sell you on any complex problem or any complex issue, that one thing is causing all of it.
Oh yeah.
There's a fucking there's somebody's deceiving your ass type of thing. And right now Elon Musk is that person that everybody wants to point at that's ruining
Sure.
fucking this shit. And it's this
Yeah,
whole
because
company.
Trump's not in office. You can't point at him anymore. So
Right.
you got to point at somebody.
Well, they're
somebody
gonna
with money.
he's gonna get the presidency back because
I mean, he what?
because he's proving the fraud and the collusion took place.
Well, sure.
Yeah, and they're just gonna, after however many years later, they're just gonna give it the fuck back to him.
I know.
That's how that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Dude,
I mean, if
My parents still talk about
if
this stolen
some
election.
people, oh
It's
my God,
insane.
if some people don't really just put some of this shit down and let it go, he'll get elected again.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I
Well,
can
and
think of is that
vice
some of the
versa.
right is turning against him. But
Yeah. But just
Oh,
regardless.
well.
So anyway, the whole thing with Elon Musk, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm not on social media enough to really care. And on top of that, I'm like, he's got enough money to do it. Fucking, he did it. All right.
sure.
And like again, it's if it was a government-owned platform, fucking different story. If it was fucking whatever, but it's because I don't think Twitter. I don't remember because for a while
It's
they weren't-
publicly traded.
It's publicly traded now.
It's
Regardless,
been for a
it's
while,
still-
but yeah, you can buy stock in Twitter.
they avoided that shit for a long time. I don't know how long they've done.
Yeah.
Public, but regardless, irregardlessly,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't really have much of opinion on it other than the fact that he had enough money to do it, or he got enough money to do it and fucking did it. So good
Yeah, I
for
mean,
him.
he's never not done something he said he was going to do that
Like-
costs money.
like for instance, if you had enough money just lying around that you could buy one of the biggest social media platforms in the world and fuck with everyone.
Yeah, if I had fuck me money,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like, why wouldn't you? Because I know if I had Elon Musk money, I would do some shit like that and fucking I'd ruin it for everyone. Like, I don't think he's pissing a lot of people off,
Sure.
but he's not actively ruining user
Well,
experience.
he bought it for was it 40 billion,
Yeah,
40
whatever.
something like that. And what is he worth? I don't remember. It's hundreds of billions.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is if I had enough, like you said, fucking me money to buy that, I would make sure that I slowly ruined it for everyone, so it just dwindled, and just to watch people get so fucking mad, they would just leave.
Which is basically what he's doing.
Dude, they have a higher user, like active users, than they have.
Well, yes, because he
ever.
let so many people back on.
Right. Well, no, then a lot of the bots and shit are filtered
Well,
off, like the
sure.
active and people got on to raise their voice about.
About him. Yeah. They got on the platform they hate to say how much they hate it.
But do you buy into his politics?
What do you mean?
So he's been much more politically vocal, not supporting candidates, but with different opinions on things and posting.
Yeah, I
and
think
a lot of memes and shit.
I think some of it is to stir the pot.
Yeah.
Because he's he Bezos, Bill Gates, all the Oprah falls under that category. I think Tyler Perry probably falls under that category. These super rich people, I think they're uncancelable. They have so much money they can do whatever they want. Like even if Tyler Perry was never able to make another movie, he's got so much money he can do whatever he wants.
Right,
I mean,
but
he
the world would be a better
created his
place.
own studio. The world would be a better place. His movies are not good. Like I don't like his movies. I applaud him for what he's been able to do.
Oh yeah,
He knows his audience and he knows what sells.
Well, to me, it's like Nicholas Sparks. And he does the same shit.
Sure.
And he's just a god awful. Like his shit is fucking terrible. But
Sure.
he knows, like, literature and movies are worse off for Nicholas Sparks being in existence as a writer. But again, he knows his audience, so good for him. I'm not going to hate on him for building what he's done. But
Fucking answers, man.
it's all right.
It's like he's trying to have a conversation.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so
So-
I want to. Okay, go ahead.
I think we were fixing to bring up the same topic. So go for
No,
it.
we weren't. I promise we weren't. So go ahead.
All right, no. Go
No,
ahead.
this isn't a topic. I just had a challenge for you.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted each of us to take a swig of that and see how long you can hold it in your mouth.
I mean, sure.
Just straight out the bottle. We're gonna do it at the same time. I just held. The reason I asked that is because I just poured some in my mouth to.
Oh, I see. So what you have to pour a little bit into your
Yeah,
glass,
and go straight out the bottle.
and then I'll go straight out the bottle. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be much. I'm going like that. Like
All right. You ready?
it might be a little more than I meant to. Just like
I mean, this is going to be very boring for anyone listening. It's just going to be radio silence.
I don't care.
For a minute.
It
All right,
won't
ready?
be long.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's worse when you swallow it, though. God damn it. I just wanted you to experience that.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
It's like rubbing alcohol with orange in it.
See, I don't get the orange. Maybe a little bit.
I do.
I just get
that
bitter.
Taking it straight like that, no ice or anything. Now I have instant heartburn. Oh, speaking of
Definitely switching to
old
bourbon.
things, I can't remember if I told you this or not. I just found out.
Which
Go
one
ahead.
thing? No, before I say that, anybody watching, I want them to like we text a little back and forth, but we barely fucking talk. It's like
Yeah,
we
for
joke.
sure.
It's like we used to joke
It's
about. like,
basically
if-
memes and shit.
If it wasn't for the podcast, we never would actually have conversations. That's what I was.
Well, I mean, but when you left the podcast,
Mhm.
and then even again, I think when I quit doing it for a little while, it was exactly how we said. We didn't talk for a while because we'd run out of shit to talk
Right.
about.
Well, that and I didn't tell you like that I moved like either the day or after I got to Charlotte. Oh, by the way, I fucking moved to Charlotte. Like
I knew you were moving. I just
Yeah,
didn't know what
I
happened.
didn't,
then.
I didn't tell you until
for
after
sure.
I moved.
Yeah. Well, because you were going to Huntsville, and then the next thing I know is Charlotte. So
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
I have to get bifocals. I'm getting old. I have to get bifocals. I can't remember if I told you that or not, but I just found that out the other day. I have to get bifocals.
Bifocals and corsets, man.
Yeah.
What's happening to us?
Yeah, bifocals. So anyway, so we have a group text thread with a couple of people that will go unnamed.
Yeah, and because we've been on we've in through weird circumstances have kind of become like as close as we would call friends.
Pretty close,
Buddies.
especially to be people you never see.
Right, buddies. We'll
Yeah.
say buddies.
Yeah. That's what I say. If I say, yeah, this, who you texting? It's a couple buddies of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
only certain people I'll drop the name just to be a dick, but other than that, that's all I do.
So,
Yeah.
but they'll go unnamed.
Yeah.
But it's me, you, and the two of them in this group thread, and it runs the gamut.
Yeah.
Of emotions and topics.
Yes.
Like it goes like fun and just nonstop memes that are sometimes wholesome-ish for us.
Okay.
And then sometimes just dark, and then other times just depressing.
Yeah, because like I'm not offended or made uncomfortable, but I understand that some people are.
Yes.
And so there are certain times that situations come up like, I don't know how to reply to this.
Right.
Because like if it was you,
Yeah.
I'd lean in hard.
Yeah,
Like
for
I don't
sure.
give a fuck.
Right.
But other people like because we're still like I've known him for 25 years.
Trying to be right. We're trying to
Be
be
a little bit of
decent.
respectful. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was watching a movie last night, and one of them was texting, and I couldn't make heads or tails of what was being said.
Yeah.
Or what was being talked about. And I didn't know how to reply. So there's a lot of LOLs and ha ha ha's.
yeah.
Yeah. So
There we go. That's for
Yeah.
him.
that's for who? Oh, Anders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's an interesting thread.
It is. It's an interesting and unlikely bond of
It is really
folks.
unlikely because you have somebody who's significantly more right than you and I are,
Yes.
and somebody that's significantly more left than you and I are.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you and I fall in the middle of
Yeah.
anything.
But what's really funny about that to me is the fact that though for funsies, I'll lean on either side. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if it's entertaining for me,
Yeah.
I'll go full fucking like far left. And if it's fucking funny to me, I'll go full fucking alt right. Like
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Sure.
For in the context of conversation,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because how many people outside of possibly you and I that talked before actually know, not counting your wife, outside of that friends, family,
Sure.
circle, that actually like specifically know your overall political leanings? I'm not talking about your stances on certain things you might
I
have
mean,
conversations
just
about.
the
but as a
Republican
whole.
Party because I'm registered with them, but that's really I mean, I guess technically it's a tea party, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mine. Like with my family, I just whatever. What's a brother I do to get on?
What does a brother got to do to get
There's a
in
fucking
on
number
this?
at the bottom there.
You can call the number.
Jesus
At
Christ.
the bottom of the screen. Lines are open.
I
Call
don't.
now.
I don't think you remember how to push these buttons. There.
Or are you wanting? He wants to get in on it. He
Oh.
wants to be added into the show. I think.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Look, it's only because you're so articulate. So, please, yeah, I was gonna say, please don't post that into the chat window.
No.
Oh God. So, yeah, I mean, you can call. Steven will send you an email with a link if you really want to jump in on this.
Yep. I'm gonna do.
I mean, and just steal our coming back
our glory.
thunder.
We'll give him a couple of minutes on here anyway. We'll just.
I've also decided in this new rendition, I really don't care about things.
Yeah.
I'm going to burp into the mic sometimes.
God damn it!
Sometimes
I hate that
I
so
won't.
much.
Sometimes I won't. But yeah, that's really it. This is just a get the ball rolling thing.
Yeah.
We'll be back to full speed next month.
None of these addresses are popping up because I'm not in the other one.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I think it's Evan at sucksdicks.com.
That sounds about right. Well, you know what? Evan,
can you open up Twitter?
No, I'm not logged into anything.
Not that, the group chat.
Oh, the group chat.
What does a
What
brother
the
got to
fuck?
do?
Oh
to get in
no,
on this?
no!
You're
I thought
in
you
the
wanted to
group
call in.
chat.
Gotcha.
Oh,
no,
wasn't-
fuck
well, you don't know the other. Just saying hi, guys.
What's up,
It's kind
Stephanie?
of late in France, but it's Stephanie. I thought you moved to the U.S. for some reason. I really did. I don't know why, but I thought you did.
We're gonna stop drinking it shortly.
And
Evan,
stop
no, you don't
drinking
get on that.
shit.
So
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
So I thought Evan. I was honored for a minute that he wanted to call.
I
in
know, I
and,
did,
and
yeah.
be part of this.
I
Be
did.
part
For
of the
all we
comeback.
know, it's not even Evan. It's the squab running things now. You know,
so you're actually
Evan-
some person. So you know for a fact now that the squab is not Evan's alter ego that he
Mhm.
just talks about, like the squab left the show.
The squab, yeah, the squab left the show. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
not
damn.
yet. Okay.
But yeah,
So
we spent way
Yeah.
too much time so far talking about Evan. It's upsetting me. He's stealing our thunder
I know he
from
is, isn't
afar.
he? Evan, we'll talk. I think you have my number. We'll talk because we may be going to see those people, which is somewhat close to you. And we'll discuss something. I'll discuss something with you.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I don't want him part of our crew.
That's problematic. I think everyone deserves a seat at the table. I just need to say that.
I think that depends on
think everyone deserves a seat at the table.
I think that depends on the goddamn table.
Oof. I don't think it does.
It does. It does.
Well, whatever. I just
Because if it's the women's rights table,
it's a women's rights table.
bodily
Well,
autonomy,
Well, we could.
you don't have a seat at that table, motherfucker.
Okay, but we get to sit at the kids' table on that
The
one.
kids' table, but not
Yeah,
at
sure.
the table.
No,
You don't have a
no,
seat at the
I think I
table.
should get to sit at that table. It should be open to everyone, right?
No.
The most diverse as possible. Nothing is more to racist.
No,
Racist.
it
Evan,
depends on the table.
hear me defending you. I think everyone deserves a seat at the table.
You social justice warrior.
I am. I am a social justice warrior.
I think it depends on the table.
I don't think it depends on the table.
Yeah. Like
Well.
if I having a table full of influencers that are passing laws on children's rights, I don't think pedophiles should be able to sit at that fucking table.
They're called MAPS now.
Oh Jesus! Don't
They're
even
called
get me started
maps.
on that shit.
Minor attracted persons. MAPS.
That honest to God, like that by itself makes me want to fucking not live on the earth
Yeah.
anymore. It
There's-
really does.
There's a new show on Hulu called like Parenting or something like that, and it's a reality show following lots of different families and the different parenting styles and
Yeah.
seeing like which one works best. And I'm like, well, there's no one that works best. There's what works best for certain kids. I mean, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that show has the potential, if I watch it, to really
Oh,
get
yeah.
my blood pressure up. So,
Yep.
yeah. So anyway,
But anyway.
well,
I had something else I was
this
going to
is
say along that, but I don't remember what that was.
better now.
It's watered
It's not
down.
good. Well, it's better now that the Coke is kind of really kind of set in there, overtaken.
But you've
some of it.
poured Coke in it more than once though.
No, I poured Coke once.
Okay.
I put more ice in it.
Okay. So
Coke
water
once, yeah.
diluting a little bit.
But still, so
Yeah. I had something I was going to say before you guys started calling me a racist again.
I didn't call you racist.
Well, Evan did, and then you were insinuating
So-
circumstances.
that's right. To be oddly Pacific, yeah. So, all right, I
It's
got a
not
game.
rocket surgery, Joey.
I got a game. All
right,
it's
that's
called
all the
"Who's
time
That
we have.
Racist?" No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's another thing. Is unless someone else requested,
I was
decided
really
no
hoping Troy
games.
would call in tonight.
Troy's not paying attention.
I don't know. He replied, but of
He
course
did
then
reply, but he replied he didn't want to be a part of this.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So yeah. Anyway,
You know, it's funny for the amount of things that get mentioned to me about like, man, I missed the show. I wish you guys would come back. Like when I have come back, people are like, why the fuck are you coming back? You guys are fucking the worst.
right. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah. So
So what
anyway,
did you have? I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Nothing. I was just joking. I said I have a game to play. I
Oh,
was just
you
joking
don't really
around.
have a
No,
game.
no. I'm just
You're just
kidding.
playing games with my heart. Playing love games.
That's it. So
Huh?
God damn it, there was something I was fixing.
I like how you out of habit put your hand over
Yeah.
the glass to keep me from pouring more, dude.
Yeah,
I'm an asshole. nah, dude.
it is. You may be right. It may be the worst thing we've ever.
Yeah,
drank.
It's bad.
It's pretty rough.
It's not as nauseating bad, but it's
Right.
hard to drink bad. Like
It's-
Ouzo made my stomach want to come out of
It's
my body.
on par with the first suicide bottle we did, but this first suicide bottle didn't last on your palate as long.
Yeah, that's a good way
This
to put it.
just
It's the
lingers.
suicide bottle
it
as the
just
suicide
lingers and lingers and lingers. It's
bottle. Oh,
it's like an old high school boyfriend.
so clingy. I can still taste them.
That's it. Yeah.
Did I
That's
did I tell you that my daughter is moving in with me this weekend?
You mentioned it,
Yeah.
but I didn't know.
I'm
So
picking her up on Sunday.
what happened? If you can go into it,
Nothing. She's just old enough. Well, what finally
is she 14?
Yeah, she's 14.
Okay.
But what finally tipped the scales is her and my ex-wife are just butting fucking heads all the time.
Well, yeah, because she's like full blown going through puberty now.
Right.
So it's two women in a house together,
Right.
And,
And
women
well,
hate each other.
And they're already enough outside of that. There's some other behavioral shit, but partially because the ex-wife doesn't have any discipline what the fuck soever. Like I'm
Really, it's interesting.
no, like I'm way more strict. But how she is she's very volatile. Like there's no consistency. Like so the kids never know what the fuck they're gonna get yelled at for. So why not just do whatever? Because I'm gonna
right.
get yelled at either way. It's
Right.
it's that kind of environment.
Is she
and
still a
so-
police officer?
Yes.
In case she ever listens to this. Fuck
Right.
12.
So anyway, so just between that and then of course Lyric's been wanting to for years, and now that she's 14,
Sure.
she's at the point where just like okay, fine, just go live with your dad. And so yeah, so that's happening. But I told her it's like there's more rules at my house, right? There's like a bedtime.
Yeah, but
like, a
there's
get up time.
consistency.
Yeah, there
That's
is.
the thing.
Yeah.
There's consistent. Krista and I talked about this actually when you mentioned it. I said it's a sad day when the number one choice is Steven's house. And she was like, I know. I would have never thought that it would have been like, it's better for the kids if they go live with Steven.
Well, it's because I'm
It's
two
'cause of
different
consi-
people.
And then she also said, I tell you what, Amanda's a good one. And I said, why do you say that? And she goes, because this is a 14-year-old girl coming in to live in the house
Yeah.
with a stepmom, and there can already sometimes be step
Right.
parent issues.
Yeah.
And you got a child going through puberty, that can be rough.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there luckily there hasn't been any step parent issue just because Lyric was so young
Mm-hmm.
when me and Amanda got together, and there were some as a whole, but I was able to
Yeah.
stomp a lot of those out. But
Sure.
that doesn't mean they're not going to come back up. Her
Oh,
being
for sure.
14. But yeah, so that's the going pretty well. But it's funny, like as well as I do, though. I think saying that like I'm two different people as like a parent and as like my normal
yeah,
self.
you're way bigger asshole as a parent.
True. Yeah, I don't know. It's like because like my house is calm as shit. Like it's quiet. I don't like noise at the house. I like it to
Sure.
be super chill and all that stuff. And it's always loud and chaotic over there. And I think my daughter wants some of that. I don't know. Then it's just the idea. She's romanticized like what it would be like living with dad instead of mom for
Sure.
so long, and then she's going to get to my house and about like it'll be really great for like a month or so, and then she's going to be like, "This fucking sucks. I want to go back to mom's where I didn't have any rules." I'm
So
like,
what
"Yeah."
is at that point you can be like, okay, fine.
No,
So
so
like, no, you made your bed, sleep in it.
nope. So the rule is right now because she's coming in the middle of the school year, and so I told her like you will like this school year's, you're in the rest of the school year. But if I told her if you decide to stay and you start next school year, you're there for the whole year. There's no cutting out halfway and going back to your mom's.
Yeah.
So it's basically a year lease.
So wait a minute. She's coming in the middle of the school year, so she has to finish this school year in Charlotte.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if she starts the next school year in August, she has to stay for the whole, school year.
Yep.
So basically, every time she starts a school year, she's there for the whole school year.
Yep.
Is that what you're going to do?
Yep.
Okay.
At a minimum. Yeah.
That's not a bad deal.
No.
Honestly.
Well, it's kind of like I told her that the only reason she's coming this early in the month or midway is what's the word I'm looking for? Logistically, it works out as far as what she's got going on there.
Yeah.
Versus starting new stuff here. Some of the other, because I made her because she wanted to come sooner, but she already had commitments for
Sure.
like band and some other stuff. I was like, no, you made those commitments. They count on you to be there. You're not going to just up and leave in the middle of it.
So is she going to go? Is she going public school in Charlotte? Or is she going to homeschool?
Public school, because the junior high is literally a block from my house. So I
Gonna make her
can
walk.
I'm going to walk her the first little bit when I'm not traveling and then get a feel because I don't know how it is that time. Like we live in a really good neighborhood and it's pretty safe and it's only like a block, but I'm still like, she's never been in the
What's
big
the
city.
carry laws like in North Carolina?
I don't fucking know.
I say you get her gun and let her carry a gun with her.
Right? Yeah, to school that'd be great. Yeah, no big deal. But like I said, I'm gonna walk her there and pick her up a few times just to get a feel for how things are.
Sure.
Those times of the day, and if they're fine, then she'll probably walk back and forth. It's literally right beside a library too, so she can always walk to the library and hang out there. But yeah, so it's I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be good for her. Like it's definitely not going to be an easy thing for me.
Sure.
Especially
you travel, you're gone. So man,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna suck for her for sure for a lot of it. But also it's just like when I am home, because at least at first, Lyric is so fucking clingy with me. Like so that first little bit, it's gonna be like I'm like I have to get on the computer and work, and she's gonna want to sit right the fuck beside me the whole time.
Make her write your reports.
Right. But that's the shit it drives me fucking crazy.
Sure.
Because
I get it.
because anytime the kids are at the house for the weekend anyway, if we're like watching a movie, like one is pressed up on me here, one is pressed up on me here, and there's a fucking dog on my legs and a fucking cat. I hate it. So it's just too much shit on me. But yeah, so that's gonna be all the time. But neither one of them sit in my lap anymore. Like I told him when you turn 12, you're not allowed to sit in my lap anymore. That's been
Why
the
is
rule.
that?
Just I don't know. I almost feel bad when they're little, like they can sit in my lap. Shit, to me, it's just like, okay, you're about in puberty now. Like it's time to learn a little bit of personal bodily autonomy. Like you can sit beside me, but you don't need to sit on my lap anymore. 12 is my cutoff for that.
Interesting.
Yep.
That is interesting to me. Like why 12 and then why like who cares? Like if I was sitting somewhere and my daughter walked in and sat on my knee, it wouldn't phase me one bit.
Yeah. I don't
After a little while, I might be like, all right, my leg's falling asleep.
Yeah.
You've got to.
I don't like, and I don't know why, but for me, I don't like, I
get
have
it.
personal space.
I'm
I
that
don't
way
like
with
being
other
on me.
people, but with
Right.
my wife and kids.
Well,
not
and
so
like I
much.
said, I understand like wife, it's a little different, but even we don't touch at night when we sleep. Like we'll
Sure.
like, lay in bed, cuddle up a little bit, and
Fuck,
then
we don't
she
even sleep in the same room.
right, but she rolls over, I roll over because I don't like that shit. And so after a while, like I don't like the kids up on me. And to me, 12 is basically more than anything. They're hitting, like I said, puberty age. I don't want like my kid sitting in my lap and him dicking with his boner while he's sitting in my lap, type of shit from the random ones he gets from the
That's what
wind.
you got to tell him. Like, look, if you're sitting in my lap, you can't play with your dick.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Oh, I have
whatever.
before, like not in my lap, like
It's fine,
sitting
I'll
there
do
under
it
the
for you,
blanket,
but you're not allowed to do
but
that.
like under the blanket, I'm like, nah, dude, like get your hand out of your pants. What? I didn't have my hand in my pants. Like, dude, you so had your hand in your pants.
You're at the age your hands, if it's not in your pants, there's something wrong.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And so it was that, and they're starting to like around 12 are weighing enough that I don't want them on my fucking lap. And so it was just a good, clean cutoff age.
Sure.
Because 10, they're still a little kiddish enough, whatever.
I get it.
Because like with my my sister growing up, like she wanted to sleep in my parents' room until for 5, and they're like, okay, when you turn double digits, you can't sleep in the bed anymore. And so for her, she was like, okay, but it was like this weird thing. She always wanted like to sleep, which I think that's fucking weird anyway. Like my kids
That's
always had their
interesting,
own
yeah.
rooms. like nightmare.
Sure.
Or like I would let like Lyric admit if she was wanting to wake me up at 4 in the morning, so it'd buy me another like hour of sleep. But outside of that, like the kids are like, nah. As soon as they were old enough where they weren't gonna like randomly die, like, yeah, you're in your own fucking room. I'm not dealing with that shit.
Sure, I get that.
Yeah.
But if they come get in your bed, what is it like?
Well, I mean,
at 12 or whatever. Sure.
yeah,
But
no, when they were little kids, like Lyric when she was 2, I'd fucking pick her up, take her right back to her room, put her back in bed
you sit in there with her till she falls asleep, or
just
what?
for a minute, yeah,
Yeah,
and then I go
okay.
back. But she was bad because she'd fake being asleep until I fucking left, and then she'd get back up and come in there like she was the worst with that shit. But she was always a very clean kid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. And I don't know. I just have I'm very affectionate with both kids. Like I'll hug them, I tell them I love them, I kiss them on the cheek, whatever. Like
You kiss them on the lips.
No, I give my Jude hate because if I come up now and kiss him on the head, and he just goes, "Ugh," all the time, and I'll be like, all right, he'll be like, Dad, can I go do this? I'm like, okay, but you have to give me a kiss first. I'm like, fine. I'll be like, on the lips, and he's like, Dad, that's seriously sketch, Dad. That's really Dad. That's really gross, Dad. Like, yeah,
It's sus, bro.
yeah, it's sus.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like because it's autonomy for me because I feel like they're old enough at 12 to
All right.
be on their own.
I think it's
whatever.
it's a case by case basis. I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but
For sure.
I also think. Nah, I'm not saying that on the show. I'm gonna leave that. That can be an offline.
okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it
That
is. It's interesting. Well, it's
Let's unpack that.
yeah. It's not a bad thing, but I know you well enough, and I know this show well enough that if I break that, it's gonna just go off on a really shitty rabbit trail that I don't want to walk
That's
down.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I gotta have.
That's
I
fine.
gotta have some.
You have some separation.
Anonymity.
That's funny.
Call me the squab because I
Yeah,
need my anonymity.
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. So
That's actually one reason why I like this view because if Jesus does come back, get a front row seat.
because he is coming back in the southeast, so we should be able to see him from here.
Probably right after a UT game.
Well,
Which that's one reason
UT
why you
starting
wanted to do this.
UT starting. They're playing the Orange Bowl.
Yep.
Um,
Who fucking cares?
a lot of people. That's why
Well,
we started at 6 and not 8.
But I thought probably that was partially why you wanted to start at 6-2 so you could watch the game.
No, I figured you and I would hang out and do whatever. I mean, that's fine. Like, if we're just hanging out in here, I'll put the game on TV and put it on mute. But
Yeah.
I know good and well there's a lot of people that are going to watch that game because UT hasn't been ranked number 6 in football in a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're ranked number 1 at one point this season. So it's been a hell of a year for them. So
Nice.
but you want to take a break, don't you? Because you want to run outside and smoke. It's 7:03.
I just need to pee and I really want to pour a bourbon, and the bourbon is all the way
Okay,
over there.
that's fine. We'll take a break. Just like it used to be, guys. We'll be back in roughly 10 minutes.
Yep. Trevor's here too.
Hey, Trevor. Tapping in, my guys. Well, it took you long enough, Trevor.
God damn it. It just shows that he doesn't love us as much as he used to.
I know. And you notice he listed, and you know what? I'm going to read it. I'm going to read this list that he posted today.
Okay. This is a very heavy icebox.
It is. All right, let's see here. What's that? So Trevor posted my top 10 cultural podcast of 2022.
Oh.
Earn Your Leisure, the Joe Budden podcast, Drink Champs, MDWOG, 19 Keys, High Level Conversations, Say Cheese TV, The Brilliant Idiots, Off the Record, Academics, same thing. The Candace Owens podcast, interesting. And the Big Facts podcast. Honorable mention, the Trevor Jackson podcast. So he listed himself as an honorable mention.
Damn it.
But my thing is, it's cultural podcast, and it's like, what the fuck, bro? Which is what I commented. What the fuck, bro? Yeah. Well, how are we not a cultural we're nothing if not a cultural podcast?
Well, to be fair.
I'm so glad you started watching that. I can't believe it took you this long.
It's
because you didn't want me to be right.
Not just that, is I really enjoy actively not doing things that you would like me to do. The same reason I still haven't watched that Dave Chappelle special.
Wow, that's really still bad.
Yeah. So for those of you joining us, we're still we're just switching to Belle Mead. We're drinking Malort.
Just give me about a shot of it, because
I'm taking my time. I want you to savor in that. You like this bourbon.
I do, but I'm still not a bourbon person. Oh, wow. Yeah. So anyway,
I keep trying to take, because Trevor was getting healthy and was laying off drinking till the new year.
Yeah.
And so now that it's after the new year, if he
I drink so I don't hit my kids.
If he's picking up alcoholism again after the first of the year, I found a whiskey bar in Charlotte that I want to take him to. And he's not gotten back to me on that yet. So
interesting. Hey, how far is Charlotte from? Never mind. It's a long fucking way. So never mind.
We got to cheers with a new alcohol, my friend. Oh, that's so much better.
It is, but I still have the taste of the other in there.
It's like sucking dick back to back. One person that's had nothing but fucking coffee and nicotine, and the other that's been on like a juice
Just
diet.
Pineapples.
I can still taste one.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So how many people does it take to be considered a gangbang? You made me think of this just now.
I thought you just had to all be wearing the same color.
Huh.
I'm kidding. I don't.
Interesting.
I would think more than 3.
More than 3 people total, more than 3 guys.
Oh, if we're talking specifically, yeah.
A gangbang. Not an orgy, a gangbang.
So if you're talking about one girl and guys, I would still say more than 3.
So it's got to be more than 3. So what do you call it if it's just 3 guys and a girl? A terrible time. A terrible time mostly, but a good time part of the time.
Right. I don't know. It's a tough question. That's the first number that went in my brain. More than 3 on 1.
More than 3 on 1.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, how many?
Because.
All right, go ahead.
Because, in theory, 3 on 1, there is 1 hole for each dick.
Okay.
And then when you start. Right. But if we're talking, because a hand job is a sexual.
It's a sex act.
It's a sex act, but it's not a penetrative sex act.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Right. Unless you have it really squeezed tight and you just gotta let it slowly push through.
I'll give you that.
And so, yeah, because it's like, because at one point it's just going to be like a gang jerk, not a gang bang. Because bang to me implies penetration. And so you would have to have.
But what if it's like there's it's like musical chairs, and when the music stops, everybody swaps.
No, it's when there's more dicks than there are holes, that's when it becomes a gangbang.
Okay,
that's going to be
interesting.
That's going to be my rule. Yeah,
interesting.
I'm sticking with that.
Huh.
Sticking with it, sticking in.
So you think that there has to be so many that at least one person has to stand back there and jerk it while they wait their turn.
Or get jerked or whatever
Okay.
the case may be. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Gangbang. It takes
Now, if she has no
has to be
eyes,
more than
then that number climbs.
well, all right. Okay. Wait a minute. There's actually two questions in one here. What if she has a colostomy bag? Is that considered anal sex? That's my second question.
No.
Oh, well. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that would be my thought.
Sure.
Whenever you outnumber. Now, here's the other question then. For equality's sake.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's an all-white gangbang.
no.
Jesus.
I'm talking about can you have
Everyone deserves a seat at the gangbang table.
can you be gangbanged as a dude? Or is it just like more and more of a party at that
Why
point?
can't you? But I do think it has to be more than two, not more than three.
Okay.
Right? Because you have one less hole as a dude.
Right, but you're not the
Unless
one
somebody's docking you at the same time.
right. Or I'm not but as a dude, usually in my brain, you're not unless you're super into it, you're not getting pegged, right? You're talking about you're fucking
Oh,
freaking.
I thought you were talking about it's
No,
one
no,
dude
no,
and
no,
a bunch
no.
of other dudes banging him.
No, I'm talking
You're talking about one dude and a bunch of chicks.
Can chicks gangbang a dude? And if so, what's that number?
That's interesting because you can only bang one at a time.
No.
You can. That's not banging. If jerking off is not, then that's not either.
No, it is. It's two different things.
I understand penetration. I get the penetration.
Finger blasting.
You're still not finger blasting is not banging. You would never finger blast somebody and go, I totally banged this chick last night.
Right.
I mean, you would if you followed it with my hand.
Right. You'd be like, oh, I finger banged this chick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's not a gangbang.
Right.
No, you'd say I finger blasted. You wouldn't say
Well, I
finger
always
banged.
reserve finger blasting to be a butthole thing.
really.
Finger bang is for the vag.
Interesting.
Finger blast is for the butthole.
So you've been finger blasted.
Oh yeah,
Okay. All right.
single digit finger blast.
Well, no, I got you.
Yeah.
Sure. I have too if you count doctors.
Well, yeah,
So
I don't count doctors
I got you.
because I didn't finish.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get to this point of the year where there's no
They
code,
just-
but you've reached your yearly maximum and you don't pay anything for it, you
Right.
get your money's worth.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just figured they weren't good at their job.
When am I coming to Charlotte?
Hmm.
He says, I don't know. I don't know. I've been thinking about it.
Let me say this.
Yep.
Anywhere I've ever moved, except in Middle Tennessee,
Okay.
you have never come to visit me
Okay.
in any of the locations I've ever lived,
Sure.
despite numerous invitations.
You also lived, aside from one place, thousands of miles away.
Uh-huh.
So you never came to visit me. You came to visit family, and I was just like
But I still can't.
an extra person.
I still had to make the effort after
but
traveling.
I also came to
after
you.
traveling
too.
those thousands of miles,
I got
I
you.
still had to
Yeah,
drive
at some
30
point I
fucking
will
minutes.
for sure. At some point I'll come.
Dude, you didn't come visit me when I lived in Hawaii. Why
Yeah.
the fuck would you?
Because I couldn't fucking afford it. That's why I was fucking broke. There's the poverty line,
Right.
And then there's like
Yeah, isn't it funny though how your definition of being broke changes
It
like when
does.
you're older? Because like right now, I'm making more money than I ever have.
same.
But
I still say I'm broke.
but the reason is because moving to Charlotte was like
Well,
five.
you also spend more money. Hey boys, how
What's-
we doing?
What's
We're
up,
doing all
Indian
right.
Jesus?
That's Lutch.
Yeah, I know it's
So we
lunch.
know,
I just
yeah.
like Indian Jesus.
Yeah.
But but now like so any raise that I got from the new job, moving to Charlotte just blasted through the like all
Yeah,
of it,
for sure.
especially with rent. Rent is double what my mortgage was. Like
Well, yeah,
oh,
rent's
well,
always expensive.
more than double of what my mortgage was. And so I had to buy another car because I sold one before we moved because we weren't going to need one. And then Amanda started working so we could pay some shit down faster. So then it's like, well, fuck, I had to buy another second car.
Yep. Gotcha.
And then like with Lyric moving, it's just all kinds of shit. I'm like, I have probably less spare cash now than I did before we moved.
Sure.
Now, eventually when you can get out of, buy a new house, whatever, all that'll go down. But initially, like, because I didn't get relocation assistance because of how I negotiated my initial contract, because it was unsure of where we were going to be going.
Yeah.
If I was going to go anywhere. So that didn't get negotiated. So all of the moving was completely out of fucking pocket.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a train wreck. So, but yeah, but my definition of broke, I still have plenty to eat. I can still go tonight and go to Waffle House after that we're done.
Sure.
And so I'm really not fucking broke, but I'm much more broke than I would like to be. Like I don't have extra, like I don't have fuck me money.
Sure. I don't either. I mean, but I don't even have fuck you money. That's
Right.
the thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like I couldn't in my mind, and this is going to sound so pretentiously assholey, but whatever. In my brain,
red, white.
right. And well, granted, I understand that, especially with, and I hate fucking throw it away, but with in the price of things and how much they've gone up, right? Shit's like groceries have fucking doubled what they would be, at least in
Oh,
Charlotte.
really? I was gonna say that. I don't feel like they have here. Some things have gone up. For
Yeah,
sure.
like a lot. Like our grocery would used to be probably $150. It's now like 220. Like it's way higher than it
oh,
was.
so not quite double then.
Some things
No, I
are
got
doubled.
you, I
You
got
fucking
you.
cunt. Fuck you. You got me to say cunt first. Good job. But anyway, but like sometimes I'm like, I have way less money in the bank than I should for as much money as I make now.
Sure.
And that bothers
Same.
me greatly. I'm like,
Same.
fuck.
Dude, my daughter has already been offered a job for when she graduates college
Yeah.
and making more money. If you count the bonus structure, which she laid everything out for me, it's a very easy bonus structure to hit,
Mhm.
making more money than I made until I was well into my 30s.
Yeah.
Well into my 30s.
Yeah.
And she'll be 22.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, it's so weird because I'm sure
and she'll
you're gonna-
graduate with no student loan debt.
That's insane.
It's great, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But at the same time, like I was
She did say she checked her credit score the other day, and she said it's just 3 lines. Like that's because you have no debt.
right.
Your credit score just basically says this is how much debt you have and how well you pay it.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, it's stupid. But while Eli was talking about going back to school, he's like, but I don't want to take on student loan debt. I was like, why? You never have to pay it. Defer that shit forever.
Well, you can't defer it forever. It depends on if you're in school and you have an X amount of months to defer it when you graduate. So you have 6 months after graduation
Uh-huh.
of free deferral, right? And then you have X amount of months that you can defer
Yep.
after that. And then you have
Dude,
to start
Amanda
paying.
hasn't been deferring her student loans from when she was in school for the last 9 years.
So there is what do they call
I know
it?
COVID kicked some
financial
weird shit in, but
sure COVID for sure. I mean that's 2 years, almost 3 by the time it's over with.
Yeah.
But there's a what they call it, like financial burden deferment or whatever,
Right.
depending on how much money you make. So
right.
you can do that, but I mean,
But I'm just saying, like you don't ever have to pay enough of it to like burden your financial situation.
sure. That's why I'm voting for Biden. 'Cause I'm hoping he's going to get that taken care of.
My point being, I was like, where we're at now, who the fuck cares about student loans? Because I mean, yeah, if you
Sure.
have to pay them, it's whatever. Go to school.
it's
If it depends on what you want your occupation to be
Sure.
and the need for that.
Well, to me, college is a wasted time depending on your occupation. Lawyers, doctors, some engineering, some.
Most engineering.
You don't think you can learn engineering on the job?
No,
That's interesting.
no,
I think some you can.
not actual engineering. There's
Some
a lot
of
of
it you
things that
can.
get an engineer stamp on it. That's not in like audio engineering is not engineering whatsoever.
You're engineering audio.
No,
mean,
you're not even engineering audio.
Yeah, you are.
No, you're not.
I mean, if you're good at your job, you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Regardless.
Irregardless.
Yeah. Regardless. Yeah, there's some jobs that for sure. Like you don't want doctors that haven't
Well,
gone to
hold
school,
on. Let's go back
right?
to hold on.
Because on the job training means
Yeah.
people died if
Right.
you're a doctor.
Yeah. What do you consider to be can't learn gender studies on the job? Yes, you can.
Well,
I've been studying genders my whole life.
no, you've been studying a gender your whole
No.
life.
I've been studying genders.
All right. Well,
Mm.
why didn't your marriages work?
Because I was studying on the job.
I got you. Yeah. I mean,
No, but I want to know what your definition of an engineer would be.
I don't have a definition, but I just jobs
Like
like
what-
civil engineering and things like that. I think that there are some engineering jobs that it may take a long time, but
Right.
I think you could
Like
learn
if you
it
had like
on
an
the job.
apprenticeship
Yeah,
type
for
of
sure. I
program.
think
Okay.
so. It's
Okay.
learning. It's
When
just
I
not
think of, I
college.
guess when I think of engineering, I'm thinking of like designing bridges.
There is no job. Engineer figures shit out. All right. Not sure what that means. Not sure what that means, Lutch. But anyway.
But what I was What I mean, because for me, like an engineer is somebody like a mechanical engineer, right?
Yeah.
Can like just figure some shit out or basically build something based on scientific principles and
Sure.
understanding metal properties, chemical properties, whatever, to build from A to B, right? Or A to Z or whatever the fuck it is. So like if you're wanting to build robotic circuitry, right? And invent a new kind.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But if you're wanting to, and like the guys at Boston Dynamics that are
Mhm.
making these fucking crazy ass robots, they have electronic technicians that you can absolute on a job that are just soldering shit together and building it. It might be even testing and giving them feedback.
Sure.
But the guys that are envisioning the end product and building it, you can't just fucking pick that shit up. Most people.
No, I don't
can't.
think you can just pick it up, but I think you could learn it on the job.
But it'd be a waste of money for most companies. At
Oh,
least to
for
build
sure, I
that
think
foundation.
so.
I guess that's more of what I'm getting
I
at,
gotcha,
right? Is
yeah.
so like there are some jobs, yeah, you could learn the shit on the job for sure, but as opposed to taking 4 years in school to get that foundation, it's going to take you 8 years, 10 years to get the foundation to be able to build the job
Sure.
upon.
I think
And then when you're done, you'll only be able to do the one thing they trained you to
and
do.
to me, when it comes to things like engineering, there should be a much higher ratio of on the job to classroom training, because you can
I'll
learn
give you
the
that.
rules of engineering or whatever it is, mechanical engineering, whatever. You can learn that in the classroom, but until you're in the field doing the
No,
shit,
100%.
you can't prepare for it.
Dude, I have an engineering role. I'm not a goddamn engineer.
Right. You're proving my point now.
No, I know. No, but what I'm saying is, but I also don't consider what I do an action to be an actual. You can be liberal with the definition. I guess when I think of engineer, I think of a very specific role, right?
Mhm.
As opposed to, I mean, technically, I guess what I do, some of it's engineering, but it's more of data gathering and, collecting this shit. And I send it to actual engineers to decipher said data, right? And because I think if you just trained with like a company, right, to learn that position, again, you're learning that position for that company. But if you wanted to go to another company, you'd have to start a lot of shit over again.
Okay, I get that. What company is that you work for?
Right? That one. Sony.
Yeah. So it's interesting to me though,
Apple.
this whole student loan debt.
Oh, we're
thing.
going back to that. Okay.
Well, I mean, just the interesting conversation is like,
Is it interesting though?
it's
Well, you're a numbers nerd, so it's interesting to you.
it is. I guess interesting is the wrong word, but I'm not sure what word to use.
And
for
I
it.
didn't ask for definition from you, Lutch.
But it's the one debt you can't bankrupt.
I know.
Like that's what's crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. More than interesting, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's just like the government knows it's a fucking sham, and they're like, "Oh, so you can't bankrupt this?"
Yeah.
Like fine. You don't have to pay for your house anymore, your car, anything like that. And even in some situations, keep the house and keep the car,
Right.
but bankrupt it, but not the student loan debt.
No.
No. You're
no,
gonna pay that shit forever.
Yeah. That's
So-
why if I ever get to the point where I'm so buried in it, I can't handle it, I'm going to go push that 100% VA disability rating so everything will just get discharged.
Yeah. I mean, that's
it's my back pocket. All it takes is one big work meltdown, a hospitalization, and a half-assed suicide attempt, and I'm fucking out of student loan debt forever.
except now you have audio and video evidence.
Yeah,
of
it's whatever. I'm bipolar. I just say shit.
Right. You're right. That's true.
I mean, I am bipolar, and I do just say shit, but but that's what I've always joked with Amanda, that I'm pretty much doesn't know what you are. That's how I got pregnant the first time. God damn it! But
Oh Jesus! You don't need to ask, but you will receive. Oh my God! Don't start that shit, Lunch. Oh my God!
I don't even know where. Oh no, I think A, being a disabled vet, right, and
Sure.
this disability rating and having the
You're
confirmed
really
diagnosis.
hanging on to that vet status.
No.
aren't you?
No. I'm saying that, but with that, it makes me almost fireable
Sure.
from any job that I'm
Nowadays,
in.
anyone except a straight white male is unfireable.
But I always
We have it so bad.
no, I always give people shit though. Like people will say, well, this, and that. And I'll be like, well, and I think that maybe why it comes out more. The only reason I lean into it, because it's my one way that I can shut the fuck people up really quick. They'll be
Sure.
like, well, you're just blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I'm a disabled vet.
Yeah.
Like, what are you disabled? I have a mental illness. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Like,
Mental illnesses don't count because you can't see them.
but dude, my favorite part though is when I go to like, yes, you were. Yes, you were. But the fact that like when I have to go to Lowe's, they have veteran parking and it's right up front. And I understand it's probably for like,
You have veteran tag on your car still?
not in North Carolina yet. I forgot my DD 214 one. No, I haven't registered my one car yet.
Nice.
Yeah, right. But but I have the veteran
Sure.
driver's license. But yeah, but I always park in like all the veteran like upfront spots at like Home Depot or Lowe's. And even though I know it's more meant for like old like Vietnam vets that
Actually
can't
disabled
walk,
people.
Well, they're not disabled. It's veteran parking.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
technically for any vets. But
Well,
the
that's what it's
spirit,
for.
but the spirit behind it, I understand. But
Sure.
I'm like, no, fuck that guy in a wheelchair. He can park
Sure.
in a handicap spot. I'm getting up close parking and walking the fuck in like I fucking own the place.
Well, technically, if you're in a wheelchair, you should park in a handicap spot, even if you're a veteran, because leave it open for veterans that can't park in the handicap spot.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
and I am a veteran. so-
No, I know. I agree. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, if you're a veteran, but you're in a wheelchair, park in the handicap spot. Now, if there are no handicap spots open, then park at the back and
But
get your arm
you
workout.
know what's right? You know what's a weird fucking thing though to me, and I've been
If that mental illness don't count because you can't see.
what's
Well, it's true.
what's funny to me, and I don't know what is about me that screams this, but like I've had people tell me you don't look like a vet,
No, you don't.
right? But I've known
I
plenty of
know
us that
you're a
get
vet,
out-
and I don't consider you a vet.
right, but I'm not even talking about from the branch of
It's
service I was in, but I'm not talking, but I'm talking
Yeah.
you just meeting somebody,
Sure.
like I don't know if
Because
it's
you
an
don't
aura.
have that. Because a lot of times, not all the times, but a lot of times, a vet still has this clean cut,
right.
conservative
But I mean,
feel
but
to
even
them.
if they don't and they're bearded and they have whatever, I don't know if my
Yeah,
aura
but that
is
Trump
not
T-shirt
that-
gives it away.
Not, dude. I've known a lot of
I
liberal.
know,
vets.
I'm
I
just
know,
kidding.
but I'm just saying, like, I don't understand what something about my essence is. Just that's what does a vet look like?
What
Exactly.
does a vet look like?
But I will say though that
This is what a vet looks like.
no, I will say though, like, well, usually they have a lot of dogs with them, some cats, a lot of needles. But no, I don't know, because I guess people have told me that I don't look like a vet. I'm like, why don't I look like a vet, but somebody else that's been? I mean,
Sure.
is it I don't have the Purple Heart or like a gunshot? Like I don't understand. But I guess it's just my aura.
You're not wearing a hat that says what tour you were in.
right. I think it's my aura though. I don't have a.
You're
veteran
right. You
aura.
don't. But that's the thing.
And that's what I'm wearing.
And that's what I was trying to explain is like vets have this vibe.
Fuck you, Lutch.
What's-
Fuck you.
What
Thank
is-
you for your service.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for for sure. I
Fuck
just
off.
vets have a vibe. They just do.
I know.
And it's not a bad vibe. I'm just saying they have a vibe, and
Yeah.
you don't have that vibe.
I know. I find that very interesting though. Like it's a very interesting thing to me.
Yeah. Why do you not have that vibe?
I don't know.
It's you that doesn't have it
I know.
because you don't like that tag.
I do, and
Unless
it
it
benefits me.
Yes, exactly what I was fixing to say. Only when it benefits you. If there was never going to be any benefit to you being a vet, you would never tell anyone you're a vet.
No,
Right.
You're right. You're right.
But you're clinging on to some of that lately because you have another podcast which you haven't released an episode in like a month.
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah.
can't even remember the name of it.
It doesn't
More Than
matter.
War.
Yeah.
See?
It's not even clinging to it because of that. I mean, that I've played into for that
Yeah,
show,
for sure.
but I have though, weirdly enough, and this is going to sound weird coming from me. I'm taking the worst intentionally, Clutch. I know it wasn't sarcastic. I just really hate when people say thank you for your service. But you didn't know that, so I forgive you, just like Jesus would before you even said it.
He would turn the other cheek.
He would give it to him before he asked.
That is true.
No, but like it's weird though, as I've gotten
Tenfold, pressed down, shaken together, and running over.
runneth. It's runneth, Joey.
Well, I was coming from a progressive church.
Well,
You
I
said
was
running.
I was
We weren't King James.
I was just coming.
Coincidentally, so was everyone in my church.
Under the table hand jobs, fucking finger blasts under the table. Okay, so what I was getting at is it is weird though, as that new show has put it a little more in the forefront as far as talking about it and
Sure.
stuff. But I have found myself as I've gotten a little older and more separated from that time of being less like, I don't care. I don't want to talk about it. Like it's more of like,
You take the same stance that people that have seen hardcore action take,
No.
You've seen no, I'm saying the same sense like I don't want to talk about it kind of feeling like kind of thing.
Well, no, it's more of like before I was like, I don't give a shit about it. And now I see some value
Oh, okay.
there.
I see.
So more of like,
'Cause it
I don't want to
benefits
talk
you.
about it because like, not even that, but like, I mean, value to like my growth as a human being. Like, okay, I recognize and looking back that, okay, there's some cool times there. Like I got to do some cool shit as opposed to just like, fuck the military. I hated being in that shit. I guess, and I have a little more perspective now. And there's certain elements. I'm like, okay,
Sure.
like I was on the fucking very end of the goddamn dilution chain. Like that's pretty fucking cool. You know, I got to do some shit other people, like very few people got to do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's more of an appreciation for the cool shit I got to do than a oh, I'm
well, that's
glad
where
I
you
was in
got
the
your
service.
engineering training from.
Fucking hate you. Instead of the Indian
you whores on the mic.
thanks, Trevor. I'm gonna go
Trevor's drinking again.
Yep.
He didn't make it to the new
I'm
year because he
gonna-
called us whores.
right. I do want to say one thing about Lutch.
Yeah.
Right. He is basically the Indian Joey.
You think so?
Yeah.
He's Brown Joey.
Brown Joey.
Yeah.
I just decided that.
That's right.
Yeah, he may not be Indian. I just see Indian Jesus. So
I'm assuming
I pulled a lot of
yeah,
assumptions there.
yeah. I'm offended though because it should say Native American Jesus.
I gotta give you a five for that one. Your feigned ignorance slash cultural appropriation. I've missed it. And what's funny is even though sometimes like when we were doing this all the time, I knew you were doing shit just to get under my skin, and I knew that you didn't bite into whatever you were fucking talking about. God damn it, it still would just make me. even though I knew that you weren't serious about any of it, I would still want to fucking murder you half the time.
Yeah, yeah. Oh well, bro. Literally, someone commented that on my video yesterday. I'm like, bro, no, like India. That's right. You said like 7-Eleven, not casino.
Jesus Christ.
Look, I don't know him, but I know him well enough to know that he probably thinks that's funny.
I know. So I've had the thought something I wanted to bring up come back to me like 4 times, and we just keep getting fucking sidetracked, and I keep losing it.
Oh God. Oh, all right. So I started this earlier, and then something you said something that sidetracks, but you took so long to get into Letterkenny.
Yeah.
Why? How do you feel about Letterkenny?
It's so
Did you
good.
finish it?
I just
Oh,
started
that's
the
right, because
last.
Amanda got into it,
Yeah, but no, we've been binging almost a season like every like 2
which
nights.
is pretty easy to do. It's like what 10 episodes a season,
No,
maybe.
it's 7 and 8.
Is it okay?
But no, it's so wonderful. I'm gonna start Shoresy as soon as we finish this.
It's
this
so
last one.
unrealistic because it's like full of, save one person, nothing but hot chicks. Like
Right.
Gaylor's the only not hot chick there.
Yeah.
And everyone else is just like, I've been to Canada. That ain't how it is.
Yeah. Hey,
So-
you too, buddy.
Have a good one, Jason. Good to see you again. You too, man.
Toss that
so-
Indian salad.
What's your favorite moment of Letterkenny? No, that's the thing.
See, this is where you and I differ in watching shows. I don't like things don't lock into my brain for the most part. Like I don't have a moment that sticks out
Okay.
in my brain. I've just enjoyed the
Do you have a something about the show that sticks out to you? Even if it's not a moment, but like a recurring
I like
bit
the,
or anything?
I like the I like the stupid like little just the verbal jokes they've gone back and forth that stuck in that they just dig into like the same fucking greeting every fucking
Yeah.
time.
How are you now?
Yeah. Good and you?
It's
not so bad. Yeah.
Not so bad.
Yeah. And
or when,
Amanda's getting to say she says pitter patter. She's like
yeah.
pitter patter.
Pitter patter.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the one when McMurphy is
All
all right. Hey, now not so bad, good and you. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. My
I was going around and smashing some cunts.
and I was just sucking. Anyway, what the fuck?
Thanks, buddy.
Square. Okay, if you're watching, hit the like button. Yeah, thanks.
Anyway.
Anyway,
But no, just as a whole though, it took me a while. Like the first episode, I was like, what the fuck? Because They give you no warmth. There's no
No.
lube. There's no spitting on it first. You just
Well,
get
it's
thrown
because
right
it
the fuck in.
started out with like 1 minute shorts is how Letterkenny
Right.
started, and so if you were into that,
Right.
then you knew what was happening.
Right.
But yeah,
But yeah, so just jumping in, I was like, what the fuck? And I thought it was funny, but it was more of like a haha. And then as it's grown and you get more and more, like there's certain characters like the fucking skits guy, they get on my nerve. Like
the
and
skids. yeah.
anytime they come on, I'm like, fuck.
I don't mind. What season are you in?
10.
I don't mind it once
10,
they kind of
9
start
or
to
10.
be more involved in the story. I don't
Right.
mind it as
Yeah.
much.
But anyway, no, but I'm sad I waited so long to watch it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so,
So
good. My favorite moment I think is episode 3 of season 1 when the three of them are throwing the baseball around
Mhm.
and Squirrely Dan starts talking about a girl sticking a finger in his butt.
Yeah.
And Wayne and Daryl just immediately turn and start throwing back and forth to each other
Yeah.
while he's talking about it.
Yeah.
That's the scene I show people when I tell them you
Yeah.
should watch Letterkenny.
It's like your autistic ass clings like you pick
I
that
love
shit
that.
up. I know.
That's the first thing of Letterkenny I saw,
Mhm.
and so that sticks out to me. And then when I saw it again watching the show, it's
But, I
so
mean,
fucking great.
shows that we watch in general. Like we could be talking about watching Rick and Morty, watch Community, and you'd be like, "Oh, did you see this one part?" I'm like, "It was happening in the fucking background."
Yeah, sure.
You're like, yeah, but
It's called watching,
no.
It
It's
is.
called like
taking it in.
taking it in. It's
Yes.
it's observing. It's not watching.
Well,
Or maybe that would be the opposite. Either way, like you dig into all the shit that's there. Like I'm noticing very much face value, what's going on
Sure.
in dialogue, what's on screen. I don't pay attention to
So
anything
s-
fucking else.
So speaking of Rick and Morty, what do you think about this most recent season? Ended a week
so
or two
good.
ago.
So good.
I love the fact that the first half of the season they couldn't go anywhere because the portal gun was broken.
Yeah.
That was the great. And the two Beths,
Yeah.
shit, the two Beths like going at it was like so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were really disturbed by that. I thought it was great. It was like it can't be worse than the incest baby floating in
All right,
space.
yeah, that's true. That they call back to again at some point. But so all right now, off of-
Dan Harmon, Dreamcast. Go ahead.
yeah.
Continue.
So moving off of Rick and Morty, but
Yeah.
because this many things, like if you have a clone and you fuck your clone, are you gay?
Ooh.
Trevor, you out there? What do you think? Anyone who can't get into Letterkenny is spare parts, but it's right.
Yeah.
Fucking 10 ply, buddy.
It's Texas size 10-4.
Mhm.
Yeah. That and made her go, we should go to LA.
You're into the same stuff that we're into, Evan, and that's what I like about you.
Oh, is that what you likes about you?
Yeah. Yeah. So if you have a clone
Mhm.
and you fuck your clone,
Right.
are you gay?
No, but
Because it's not the same as jerking off.
No, it's not. Well,
If your
but-
clone jerks you off, then I say,
but
you're
here's-
not
But
gay.
here's the logical conclusion of this thought
Okay.
process. Taking the clone out of the equation, can you, as a man,
Mhm.
have sex with another man and not be a gay man?
Well, it's called prison gay.
Right. So
No, but I mean,
No, I'm
there's
talking-
there's a there's a
I'm
there's
talking
a
about
guy
like
on,
gay porn.
on
A lot of gay porn stars are
sure, but
straight
there's a but that's different because that's their job. They have to do that, right? We're saying if you choose to
right.
to fuck a dude,
You're
are
choosing
you
either
gay?
way.
Well, sure,
One's for money, one's not.
right, but the money muddies the water. For lack of a better term. The money muddies the dick.
Right. No,
No,
but no, I'm
I
just
just-
saying though, like if you're not, if you're sexually attracted to females,
Yeah.
right? But and take the joke prison game off the table, but say like you're sexually attracted to females, you just want to have sex with females, but an opportunity arises, you're really horny, and the dude's like, "I'll let you fuck my butthole, or I'll suck your dick." And you're like, "All
Is
right."
it Brad Pitt?
Doesn't matter. I'm saying any dude, but you get the offer, and you're like, "You know what? I'm really horny. I don't care." Sure.
Is it Lutch because his long dark hair are not going to match?
Yeah. No, my point being, at that point, are you a gay man, or are you just taking advantage of a hole?
I think that's. I mean, it's circumstantial gay,
Right.
I mean, it's like prison gay, right? I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't know that because there's a doctor on.
Yeah, Trevor,
fuck
but
is
do you
that called?
finger your
TikTok.
own butthole while you do it?
We have sex with ourselves. All the, that's not sex with yourself. If your wife jerks you off, you didn't have sex with her. It's
No, I'm
not
talking
the
about
same.
jerking yourself off.
Yeah, I'm saying jerking off is not having sex.
Oh, gotcha.
Right? We established that with the gangbang.
It's a sexual act. It's not.
It's a
sex, yeah.
sexual act. It's
Right.
not having
Yeah, yeah,
sex, right?
No. But then that. Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm just saying, like, there's a doctor, I cannot think of his name, Doctor something on TikTok, who says straight men have sex with straight men all the time, and they're not gay. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't know a single straight man that's had sex with a straight man,
Right.
at all.
But then that begs the question to me, and maybe this is just a mental switch though, is if you're the one doing the fucking, is that less homosexual than if you're the one getting fucked? Because like if I enjoy as a dude the occasional finger in the old butthole, a little
Sure.
prostate massage, and can get off that way, right? So what is the difference between, and I'm talking about not from the person attached to it, but between a finger and a skinny dick that's hitting the prostate, right? Not considering what's attached
that is
to.
the fucked up dick, because you said a skinny dick and it was like 10 inches
No,
long and
I was
skinny.
comparing a finger.
Oh,
and a dick.
okay. I'm sorry. It
Yeah,
looked like
no,
you were doing this.
no,
and I was like,
the-
that is a really skinny
So
dick.
so the thought process.
That's like a Ticonderoga pencil.
Yeah. No, so again, taking what's attached to it out of the equation, it's still getting something in your butthole inserted, rubbing your prostate and making you blow your shit. So is there a difference? So are you any more gay getting fucked in the ass by a dick or getting finger blasted and getting the prostate
think-
massaged?
Look, far be it for me to speak for gay people,
Right.
but I'm gonna. So, no, I'm just saying, like, I think
I'm asking
if
the
you're
question.
attracted to men, then sure, you're gay, or bi at a
Right.
minimum.
Yeah.
But if you're just, I mean, it's opportunistic. It goes back to prison gay. It's opportunistic. Like,
Or
honestly.
warrior gay?
Okay, right. Could be the Roman Empire.
No,
or
I'm talking about it
pirates
was
or
normal
Vikings
back
or
exactly.
any
Yeah.
group that ever conquered anyone.
Yep.
It's interesting. All of them were white that were raping and pillaging men.
It was commonplace in ancient Israel, Middle East, all that shit.
Well, I mean, they were white back then.
Just
was
look at
white,
Jesus'
right.
pictures. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
for sure. No, I still go back to the thing. It's like, all right, if you are attracted to your clone, are you gay?
There you go. No.
Right, because you could be a super narcissist.
Yeah.
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 So,
Like-
oh, wait a minute now. Okay. You could fuck another dude because you like dominating someone and you're not gay. I mean, I'm saying, right.
Well, that's what rape is. It's not a sexual
Yeah.
attraction. It's domination.
Okay, fine. It's a sex crime though.
Yes.
But-
But I'm talking about like if you're fucking somebody for
Eh,
domination. I'm not saying that that's
I don't-
rape, but I'm saying
That-
it's not a sexual orientation.
We're
It's a,
honestly getting into muddy waters on that one though. I'm more honestly, no pun intended. I'm thinking though, if you are having consensual sex
Okay,
with a
I
man, and
misunderstood.
it's
I
just
gotcha.
because you want to be alpha male and you're like,
gotcha,
you know,
gotcha.
we've
No,
all seen that
I'm
guy in a
tracking
bar.
now.
It's like, I'll fuck your ass up, bro.
Yeah.
I'll fuck you right now. Like, I'll fucking bend you. I'll fuck you. Like,
Yeah, I
there's
gotcha.
dudes out there like, I bet you they would.
Yeah,
I bet they
I
would bend
gotcha.
you over the bar stool and fuck you
Okay.
because they want to dominate you.
I heard
Is that
dominate and went
gay?
to the what we were just talking about as far as the
Yeah,
pillaging
yeah,
and
no,
raping. That's why I tied them
no.
together. I gotcha, I
All
gotcha.
holes are accepted.
Yeah.
Is that, can you?
I would say
no.
this. I would say this. Okay.
All right.
Joey, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Joey.
Yeah.
Joey, okay.
Yeah.
I would say that with like a lot of things, it would be what would be considered a homosexual act, but not necessarily make you
So
a
basically, you
homosexual.
fuck a guy so that after he's over with, you can be like, fucking fag. Is that what it is?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, never mind.
But I'm saying I think if I'm talking about fucking yourself specifically,
Sure.
right? Like
If there are people in these rooms next to us, they're like, what the fuck is going on over
right,
there?
right. But no, I think it's kind of can you separate what would be considered a homosexual act from being a homosexual? Because some people would think getting a finger up your butthole is gay. I don't think getting a finger in your butthole is gay. I think
That's true.
I think it's fucking awesome.
That's true. Some people would think that
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. So I think that I don't think the act defines the orientation. I think the orientation.
Well, that's
I
why
think they're two
that's why
separate
I
things.
said I think if you're attracted to men, if you're a man that's attracted to men, then you're at a minimum bisexual,
Yeah.
right? But if you're only attracted to men, then you're gay,
Right.
Whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I like that you feel like you have to do this.
It's Seinfeld.
Yeah, I know. but no, I think that's the thing. So going back to having sex with yourself, I think if it's like, oh, you're the first man I've ever been attracted to, there's probably some homosexual tendencies there. But if it's just like, I want to know what my butthole feels like to my dick, then yeah, it's totally not gay.
So if it's your clone, it's not gay.
I don't.
You're like, this better not awaken it.
Right? No, I think it's not gay. It's just like, I bet my asshole's tight. I'm gonna fuck the shit out of that thing.
Well, maybe you're being sympathetic toward your wife and you want to know what it's like and know how good
I
you
don't have to
are and
worry
if you
about
need to
that.
change. No, I'm just
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
So all right. So now this
It's an interesting hypothetical.
this spins me off into another question, which we're gonna end up fucking going forever. But
Fuck you, headliner.
yeah. Fuck headline. I don't give a shit anymore. So all right. You're dating someone, right?
Okay.
So and let's just for all intensive purposes, take your wife you've never been married to who you're married to now, right?
Okay.
You're not married. You've been single since the last divorce, right?
Right.
You meet a girl, you're dating, you're fucking whatever. Things are going well. It's the best relationship you've ever been in.
Okay.
Right? And then she says one day, I was born a man.
Okay.
Had the surgery. You can't tell. Like you
Right.
look at her,
No,
you
I
can't
gotcha.
tell.
I got you.
Right? She identifies as a female. She's had top and bottom surgery.
Mhm.
Yeah, her clit's a little big, but still. I'm just kidding. No, no, but I'm saying, do you split up?
No,
Okay.
but I do think you have to have a come to Jesus conversation.
Which is what?
That's like if we're dating and we're being open and honest with each other, that's part of fucking talking about shit. Because just like as a trans person,
If you could put your penis inside your sheet, well, fuck, I think every guy would.
right?
It's like
Yeah.
every guy would suck his own dick.
I
if he could.
can barely put my penis between my thighs, so
That's true.
no, I think though in the same way, and this, I think this is one of those questions that can change and evolve as society changes and evolves.
Okay.
But I feel like right now in the time that we're in, just
God,
as
I've got to piss.
just as much as your right to be respected for your decisions is valid, my right to understand, because knowing how things are nowadays, like I might not have ever been in that situation.
And I disagree on some of this.
That's fine.
I think respect is not a right.
No, it's not a right.
Well,
I
you said
don't.
your right to be respected for your decisions.
Okay. Well, because we believe, you and I on a personal level, is we start with a baseline of respect.
Yep.
Right.
For sure.
And so at that baseline, to me, like I'm going to respect, like if I met you in a bar, let's take the relationship out for just a second. And I met you at a bar. Like I treat you, whether you're trans or I can't tell, or you're not, or whatever, like I'm treating you the fucking same, no matter where on that
Sure.
spectrum you follow and I recognize. It's not until you do one thing or another to raise that or lose that respect, right? So if you and I have been in a relationship and you are never forthcoming with me in a societal situation that you know I could be upset by it, you've then disrespected me for the last fucking however many long it is, by not sharing that information with me just because of the social climate. Does that make sense?
I guess so.
Because it'd be the same thing if I don't know. I'm trying to look at it from a personal perspective. If that situation was reversed and I had transitioned into a woman, I would want the dude to know that I had transitioned, because like he deserves to know that shit if we're fucking all the time.
Okay.
That's how I look at it.
So then in your situation, then you need it to be told to you before you're fucking.
Yeah.
Or does it need to be even before that, before you get into a committed relationship?
Well, those aren't mutually exclusive.
They're not, right?
Yeah. My thought
But
would
you can be in a committed relationship and not fucked yet, but you can also be fucking and not be in a committed relationship. So
I feel like, and that this is the only place that I feel like is a weird area, right? Because if you're both drinking at the end of the night, you want to go home and fuck, that shit's gonna happen.
sure.
And like it might not even cross your mind to have that conversation. But I feel like at the first rational point in time to have the conversation, that conversation needs to happen.
I agree with that.
So,
But let's say that
but
conversation.
it's your choice to have that conversation or not, but it's also my
Sure.
choice on how I react to finding out that you haven't had that conversation with me.
Right. But okay. So if you break up, it's not because they used to be a male. It's because they didn't have the
Well,
conversation.
who cares of why it is?
No, I understand that, but I'm saying for you, the decision you would make would be based on that.
That would be
not
based
on what they were.
That would
born
be
as.
first and foremost what would be
I
it.
got
And then like honestly, like I would have a hard time with that just because of where the generation we came up in, how we look at a lot of stuff, how we think about stuff. Not that I think it's wrong or right, but I believe that like that's the shit you talk to me about first.
Interesting. How soon in the relationship should they talk to you?
As soon as it's getting to a point where it matters, or
What point
it
is
might
that,
matter.
Because that's different for different people.
It is different to me. What is the common sense thing that you think that the average person, not portrayed on social media, not portrayed in the news, the average person, when would they?
Yeah.
wanna
See,
know?
for me, it's when you decide to be in a exclusive committed relationship.
Okay.
But for me, at that point, if I've had the conversation, if everything's going great and we decide to make this exclusive, and then you tell me that, no, I don't break up with you for it.
Yeah.
If I'm attracted to you and you don't have a dick,
Mhm.
because one thing in thinking about this, because I really put a lot of thought into this,
Uh-huh.
I had this conversation with my wife, like just asking the question. I think I even had this with like Andre and T and Roxanne, and it's like one thing I've realized is like it's not so much female that I'm attracted to as much as it's tits, ass, vagina that I'm attracted to. It's like I
Right.
don't care if you used to be a man or not. It's what are you? What are you?
Right.
Like
I guess
if you met a transsexual man in the bar that used to be a hot chick and she still had her vagina, would you smash? I mean, maybe. I mean,
yeah.
it looks this person looks like a woman, but they call themselves a man. Then yeah.
So taking back on the whole thing, or not taking it back, but going back to what we were talking about. So it's a very weird thing for me because it's really not based on attraction. And I'm trying to think of a good comparison. I really can't come up with one about like if there is something about me that you would want to know, like even between two straight people. If I was dating a woman, if there's something about me that they should know that might change their decision whether to sleep with
Sure.
me or
You've
not.
been married, you've had kids, you've
Right.
whatever.
And I'm not talking
Fat
about like on
chicks.
and I'm talking about like on a first date, but
Sure.
if shit's, I'm not even talking about getting serious. I'm not even talking about that. So me having kids has nothing to do with me
Sure,
having a one night
having
stand.
sex. You're talking about just having sex, with someone.
Right. Like
Really? So you think if you're gonna have a one night stand with someone, they still owe that to you?
no,
to
no,
tell
no,
you
no,
that?
no, no. Depending on what it is. Like, okay, what if you have herpes, but you haven't had an outbreak? You're in a spot in between. Do you require them to wear?
That's different because that physically will affect you.
It can. It may not.
Yeah, but it's in all likelihood.
Right.
I shouldn't say in all
Okay.
likelihood.
But
The
then,
other
yes,
has no chance of physically affecting you.
but it can. Okay, but then you start getting into the comparison of is mental trauma as valid as physical
Well,
sickness?
that's so subjective, though.
Exactly.
Herpes is not subjective.
I know, but that's what I'm getting at is if I didn't tell you, right, you might not be like, okay, you should have told me, but fine, I still attracted to you, whatever. For somebody else, that could be some like sexuality questioning, PTSD type of shit, whether it's reasonable or not to be.
Sure, but it's not the other person's fault that
For
you
not
question your
disclosing-
sexuality.
I'm
or
not talking
something
about.
like
I'm
that.
not talking about questioning your sexuality.
Well, that's what you said just a second ago. It
What?
could be some sexuality questioning thing.
Right, just because of social raising, or that's where I'm saying this can evolve, right, over time, right? In 10 years, it might not even be a fucking thought.
Sure,
But when there's this gap generation, then yeah, that can cause some fucking mental shit happen to people. And to me, like that's worth that conversation. But again, it depends on if you no, hold on. But if you, depending on what you buy into and what you listen to and what your thing is, or whatever you look at, you don't look at it as a big deal. It's not a big deal.
sure.
But for somebody else, it's a major fucking deal. And that's where this is a stupid conversation just because there's no good answer for it. Like I'd like to think that, yeah, I'm okay with it. But if I'm being completely fucking honest, yeah, I'd be fucking
All right,
pissed.
so fine, because I'm not even trying to go in this in-depth conversation that
Yeah.
we're having. It just did, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But let's
Okay,
just say
so
you
me-
meet somebody at a bar.
Me personally,
It's going.
I would be pissed. I would be
okay.
fucking
all right,
mad enough to
so
fight.
that's why I'm really.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's some shit I feel like that you should talk to me about.
You fucking Republican.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, neither
No,
Republican.
so let's just say you meet somebody.
Mhm.
You're at a bar.
Right.
This is a one night stand.
Yep.
You can't tell.
Yeah.
This looks
Yeah.
like a woman
Right.
full blown. And they say to you, when you You take your drink and you go, you want to get out here and go back to my place?
Yeah.
And they say, yeah, but you need to know I was born a man, but I've had all the surgery and everything. You go back and fuck them or no?
Depends on how drunk I was, probably.
Oh, yeah, but let's just say you're not drunk.
No.
Sober you.
No, if I'm being honest, no.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Why?
I don't know. I have a problem with it.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Okay.
That's I don't give a shit about that. Okay. Well, then that negates the next question. I know the answer to your next question. Then.
Yeah.
My next question was, all right, fine. They look like a woman,
but I would respect them for asking me or for telling me.
Sure, I get that. But let's just say.
But let me rephrase it though. Here's the thing, though. Hold on. I would not be repulsed by it. I wouldn't be like, fuck no. No, I'm good.
Why not?
I don't know. I think it's just because maybe it's mental. How I was
they're not
raised.
the way God intended them.
No, it's nothing to do with that.
Just
shit.
kidding.
I don't know. I think it's just I don't know. I couldn't honestly give you a good fucking answer other than maybe it's socially how I was brought up, how my brain. I don't fucking know. I would not,
because we were brought up very similar ways.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yep.
So my next question was going to be, but I know the answer to this. If they said to you, just so you know, I was born a man. I look like a woman, but I still got a dick.
Right.
Like, so if you fuck me in the ass or whatever, like,
right.
Like for me, no, because I'm not attracted to dicks. Right. For me, the answer
what
is
if you're
no.
attracted to every other part and you're really into anal?
Yeah, I'm just, but for me, as I sit here,
right.
No, I don't, because I'm not attracted to dicks.
Right. Now, all this is saying it's all hypothetical, obviously.
Oh, for sure.
And maybe by now, if I was still out in the single world, it'd be a different story.
That's the good thing about, I should say, at the risk of tooting our own horn. That's a good thing. Like, we'll just lay the shit out there.
Yeah.
So,
but here's the thing. Like I said, if I'd been single this time and out there, then maybe it'd be a different story. Because my thoughts would be different. My circle of it doesn't matter. But I just know that where I'm at now, but I think mostly it's because I'm trying to come up with a good definition, and I can't really come up with a really good reason. Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to articulate better, and I just can't. Other than the fact that I'm like, no, I'm just. And I think maybe it's just conceptually, it's an issue.
It's hard for you to wrap your mind around somebody changing their gender, like physically changing their gender.
No.
Okay.
No, but
interesting.
Yeah, it's not hard for me to wrap my head around it. Like, obviously, I don't understand gender dysmorphia or what it feels like to be in that situation.
Sure.
But I mean, I'm not disgusted by it. It doesn't bother me. It's just I don't know. I think because for me, in my mind. And this is where I think a lot of people would get caught up in and would call me whatever. But honestly, because in my mind, even though you've transitioned and you look girl, you're still a dude. And I'm not banging a dude. That's what it comes that if I have to boil it all down, that's what it is. And that's where I feel like it would bother me if you told me after we've been together for like 4 years.
And it's because scientifically they're a dude.
Well,
their chromosomes say
right, but
dude.
I even read a thing the other day that there's on a molecular level, there's some other I can't remember what it was. I'm gonna fuck this up, but there's actually other influences on femininity and masculinity that have started evolving and changing on those chromosomes, where you can start having.
I don't know that I buy that. I believe you read it.
No, no, it was like a legit thing. I'd have to find it, like because I didn't think we were gonna get into this shit, but
yeah, sure.
Who the fuck knows? But anyway, basically it was saying it's not like they found like a gene for this shit, but they're starting to find some things that are like at least explaining more of why some men are more quote unquote effeminate than others, stuff. Anyway,
because they were molested. Just kidding. Just kidding.
but bottom line is I think because it probably ties into that, because at least as far as our understanding how we were brought up in science, and again, because I'm not a biologist. I don't know fucking human genome. I don't know any of that shit. I'm just saying for how we were taught and how we we're brought up, right? Genetically, chromosome wise, male, female.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, still you can transition. I'll respect any of the fucking thing you want to be. I'll call you he, him, her. I have a hard time with the plurals.
I do too.
I have a hard time with the plurals, to be honest. And
I don't have a hard time doing it if you're respectful and you're just asking people to do that. If you're a dick about it, then I'll probably
it's not even that. No, my thought is
it's not plural. You're not plural. You're one person.
Right. Well, just from a grammatical standpoint, it bothers me.
Sure.
But anyway, but outside of that, but as far as if I'm entering into an intimate type of situation with you, I feel like you should tell me, because at the end of the day, I don't want to fuck a dude. And maybe that's some leftover.
So you consider one night stand though an intimate situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, it different. But like if I banged a trans woman and I had no idea and went about my day, I'd never fucking know. That's the weird thing about it.
But you'd be pissed that person want to fight him if you found out later.
if they intent goes a long way.
Well, it's intent. They didn't tell you purposely. All right. They didn't accidentally not tell you.
Well, they might not. They not. But for them in their plan, it might not even came up as a thought. Is my point.
That's
so,
true.
But if I find out, like to me,
But that's very subjective.
that the whole thing is very fucking.
I understand
subjective.
that, but I'm just saying, like, for you to decide whether you're
No,
offended or wronged.
I'd be more offended. Going back to your situation, we've been in a relationship for fucking however many years.
Not just that. I mean, it doesn't even have to be years. It could be months.
Right. But even months, if we were in during that point and you hadn't talked to me about that shit, and then I found out, yeah, then I'm fucking.
And that makes more
because
sense.
you know me well enough, and that's where I've been.
That makes more sense to me. But that's why I changed it then to the one night stand.
Yeah.
thing.
One night stand's
'Cause
different.
I don't
like,
think you owe anybody
No, no.
anything if you don't have anything that's going to physically
no, I
change
no.
their
See,
life.
I concur with that, but I'm just saying if later they were like, oh yeah, I just didn't want to tell you, then I'm pissed. If I didn't know, they didn't think about it, fucking whatever. Like seriously.
Yeah, I'm
it's
more
too-
interested in whether you still go home and bang them or not.
Oh, if I find out, but it requires.
No,
me
I'm saying if
finding
they
out
tell you
tomorrow.
straight up front, if you go home and bang them or
No,
not.
I wouldn't. No.
Okay.
I'd be like, okay, I appreciate it, but no, thank you.
Yeah.
Have a
I'm
good night.
attracted to cis women.
And if they'd have been like, oh, I shouldn't have told you. I'd be like, yeah, you shouldn't have. Otherwise I
If you wanted to
probably
get laid, for
you know,
sure. Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
just being honest,
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I'm pretty sure I know the answer to the next question. Then you meet somebody in a bar. It's just a one night stand situation. They say, look, I was born a man. I still got a dick, but everything else I got tits, got a great ass, whatever. Right. You're not going to fuck them. Right.
No,
I get
no.
that. All right. You're with somebody, your current wife.
Okay.
Just suddenly she decides she identifies as a male.
Okay.
But she's not going to do anything to alter her appearance at all.
okay.
She just identifies as a male.
Mhm.
You stand with her?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a shitty thing. I shouldn't have asked that because I'm not asking about your current wife.
Yeah. But no, but
Right.
regardless, I mean, if it's not going to change the dynamic of the relationship, it's just whatever. That's fine.
You don't think that, but you don't. That's
you said that nothing changes.
well, yeah. And I guess I meant physically.
Okay.
Nothing changes. Like, right.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. She's still going to look like her, but she'll just be known as him.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, to have to have an open conversation. Be like, I'm going to have a hard time. We've been together for 10 years.
Sure.
I have to make
Yeah,
that
I get it.
transition
Okay.
in my head. It's going to fucking, I'm not going to be good at this, but
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's another one that doesn't bother me. It's going to be weird, and I probably have to ask you questions like, why?
Yeah.
If you want to be known as a man, why are you not? Because if you tell me, well, but there's no such thing as what a man looks like, then I'm out. Like,
Right.
Not out as in divorce, but I'm out.
Yeah.
Like I can't have this conversation
Yeah.
with you because
No,
that's
I know.
not realistic.
All this just made me think of what the fuck I was thinking about driving here today.
Yeah, go for
Yeah.
it.
We're
Do you want
running-
to tease it? You want to tease it? And we'll talk about it next month.
Sure.
Go ahead, because they'll give me a month to think about it.
And that is that anyone that is pro trans athlete
Mhm.
in whatever
Is anti-woman?
is anti-woman.
That's a good one.
That's
because that's a good one. That's a good.
like
Yeah, that's a
you
good
can't
one.
you cannot be, and I'm talking about specifically in like sporting
Sure.
elements or things of the competitive nature.
Yeah.
You cannot be pro trans athlete and pro woman at the same time. It is an impossibility.
Say that one more time.
It is impossible to both be a pro trans athlete supporter and a pro woman supporter. They're in direct.
Interesting. That's
they're-
going. It's hard for me to just let that sit.
They're in direct competition with one another. As
It's
a thought
interesting
process.
because I don't disagree with you, but it's hard. Yeah, that's a hard one for me to let sit.
Yeah.
But
We can unpack it. I
no,
don't
no,
give a
that's
shit.
fine. No.
Yeah.
We gotta have something to talk about next month, right? So tell y'all wives that y'all identify as a woman now.
Yeah, Amanda would be out if I wanted to get rid of the dick. She loves the dick.
Well, there you go.
No,
But
no-
if you
no
decided to
vagina.
identify as a woman, but you were keeping everything the same, she'd be like,
she
I don't.
wouldn't give a shit. Yeah, as long as you still give me that good. Give me that fucking 3-inch Punisher.
You're
Bring
like,
it.
will you please lick my clit, please? Will you stick my clit in your mouth? Oh my God.
But yeah,
Okay.
so for next week,
Next, no,
or not next week, next month. Next month.
Jesus, you're trying to commit us to a
Oh, I'm used to
week.
it back in the
Used to. It's been months.
but it was the last time I did this.
I
with you.
know, I know.
No, but that's
know.
that is my theory that you cannot be pro trans athlete
Okay.
and pro
That's a hell of a
woman
tease.
at the same time.
Okay. So if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, whatever, think about that. Chime in next month. We don't know when it's going to be next
We'll
month.
announce it.
But we'll announce it ahead of time.
Not the cock tease
We'll
countdown.
give you
thing like we did.
5/6 days notice.
Fuck off, cunt.
We'll let you know when we're gonna do this, and
Yep.
then we'll get into that. So
For anyone that tuned in, thanks for
yeah,
listening.
thanks.
Thank you for making me sound like a fucking homophobe at the end of the night.
That's not
appreciate that.
homophobe, transphobe.
Transphobe.
No,
excuse
you're
me.
not having a problem with gay people. You'll fuck a dude. We've established that. We've established that. You just won't fuck somebody that used to be a dude. That's what we've established here.
I
It's-
hate, you know what? I fucking hate doing hypotheticals with you because how my brain scatters. You're very
Well,
fucking meticulous with
But
shit.
that's the thing is, before I ever asked anyone this question, I really thought through
I know.
how would I handle
I
it.
know. And I'm just spitballing off the top of my fucking head, which means if you ask me this same question again next time we do this,
Yeah, I'll
my
ask you
answers
again.
will be
That's
completely
fine.
fucking different,
That's
probably.
fine. All right. So yeah, I mean, if you enjoyed having us back, then please share this with someone. Like, subscribe, follow, tweet, what the fuck ever.
Or do none of that.
The website's down, and who gives a shit?
Nobody goes to the. How many of you, by show of hands, ever went to the goddamn website even once other than us to check it?
Yeah.
Nothing. Nobody.
If you really want to play a prank on your friends, get them some Jepson's Malort liqueur.
Oh, don't. Yeah, do it.
Just do that, and yeah, it's Carl Jepsen Company. I'm assuming that's a relation to Carly Rae Jepsen if the music is anything like the liquor.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say, fuck you, Chicago.
Great pizza, terrible liquor.
Chicago style pizzas. It's fucking pizza soup. It's the
I-
worst.
Dude, you're eating it from the wrong place. Then
No, I've had Chicago style pizza. I hate it. New York
I-
style pizza is so superior.
I
over
love
Chicago
them
style.
both equally. That's the thing.
Mm.
Because I love a good thin crust pizza, but I love a deep dish
But
pizza
see,
from
true New York
Chicago.
style is not thin crust pizza.
No, I understand that, but the crust is thin.
Thinner, yes.
Yes, it's
No,
a-
Chicago is like fucking bread with pizza shit on it.
No, it's not. It's a bowl
Yeah.
that has yeah, but they have so much cheese in it. It's not soupy.
But that's the thing is like that's so much cheese.
Well,
So much
where I
cheese.
get it from is Malnati's, and it's
Okay.
not soupy, and it's not just like cheese pouring out. It's great sausage, great pepperoni. It's so good. It's to the extent that I'm thinking about ordering and having it sent to the house because they'll send you frozen pizzas to the house.
Really?
It's fucking fantastic. I love it.
All right.
Yeah, my birthday's coming up, and I want people to
When is your birthday?
share. I know to share this
February,
show
right?
with people. No, it's not.
It's January?
Yeah.
13th?
No,
15th?
nope.
17th?
Getting farther away.
Fucking 3rd?
Nope.
7th?
Nope.
I don't fucking know.
The 4th.
Oh, okay. I was so close.
It's fine. I don't expect you to
No,
remember my
I've
birthday.
never known your
Look,
birthday.
very few people know that yours is March 8th, but still. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, share the show because I enjoyed getting together and doing this tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Go Vols, beat Clemson.
Fuck off.
And yeah, until next month.
Next month at some point. Or, we might even occasionally, let's just put it this way. This isn't going to be a consistent every, like, you
It'll
can
be
count on the
at
same
least
day.
once a month.
Yeah.
If it's more than that, then you're welcome.
And if it's less than that, all right.
So long, gay.